How cool is that intro?
Oh,
So good.
I absolutely love it.
Danny's hair. Danny is full like California Zac Efron hair.
Hey,
I'm not sure, and this is dangerous territory to start with, but how did Paul get a semi?
Oh, starting strong.
I was going to say 1 minute in, and yeah.
I mean, to be honest, it was the sight of your picture, Danny.
So I've got loads of Paul's got the D jokes for Group D, so don't worry in the side. But of course, welcome everyone. Welcome back to another live show. We missed you all. We really did. So we're like, right, we're coming back live. We need to do this Euros preview and have you all in the chat with us. We are back for our Women's Euros 2025 preview. And yeah, like I said, we couldn't keep away from you lovely lot. So we're previewing all 16 teams ahead of the summer's tournament. And for each team, we've picked out key players, ones to watch, notable names that are absent. France, looking at you. And of course, our predictions for who will make it out of the group and all of the facts we can possibly give. I've got some really good fun ones as well that we can do. So basically everything to keep you up to speed ahead of the tournament, because of course it starts next week, doesn't it? Next Wednesday, 2nd of July, with the final taking place on the 27th. Now, I can never do this by myself. I'm joined by a wonderful panel this evening. Chloe, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I was saying before we went on air, can you hear my fan? Because it is absolutely boiling in here. So yeah, if anyone hears just a little hum in the background, please do ignore it, or I might explode if it's not on. But Danny, always lovely to see you. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How is everyone? I'm excited, by the way. I'm very excited.
Yeah, really excited. It feels real now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a week away. I don't know if I can wait a week because it's felt so long since the end of the season and stuff. So I'm bursting for it now. I love a tournament.
Yes, it feels like it's been so long since a good bit of tournament football. So yes, we're absolutely ready for it. And of course, Paul, how are you? Lovely to see you.
I am as excited as Danny, almost excited as that I got a semi. See, I'm going and run with it. I will say, by the way, how Love Island does Rose's character look as well? Like Rose's picture looks like she's come straight off Vogue. Chloe's got, the full-on flowing fashion model hair. You're there looking clever. Danny's kind of there with the full-on flowing hair. And then there's me looking like some ratty emo person who just walked out of mosh pit, which I suppose is properly on brand.
But that's true to you, Paul. Hey, live it.
I'm impressed that AI did a Lamb of God t-shirt. That was. I've got to show off my actual football related one.
Yes, go on then.
I've rolled the sleeves up, Love Island fashion.
Yeah.
In homage to Giorgio, who is probably going to stay in his competition longer than Leslie stays in hers, but we'll get onto that later on.
First burn of the afternoon. Already been on 4 minutes.
This is a reproduction of the Southampton Women's shirt. Southampton Women's Football Club shirt. Now, those of you with the slightest of knowledge of women's football will be aware that Southampton women won the first ever modern Women's FA Cup in 1971. So there you are. And not to football history. And hopefully we'll see loads more history made over the next month. There you go. There's the segue.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a question for Paul, please.
Yes.
Is that a panic cause next to you? And are you going to pull it just in case it gets too chaotic?
So if I do pull it, you're going to hear a thud, and I'm going to get hit on the head by a metal blind.
If it gets too much,
that's my escape strategy. I'm just knocking myself out.
Just fly out. Yeah.
There's no Neville alarm. You pull it.
Yeah.
It'll be like
in case of emergency.
You know that IT crowd gift?
No, sorry.
Oh, no.
I heard Phil's name. Sorry.
You know the IT crowd gif of just standing up and leaping out the window. That'll be me if it gets too much. Right?
When it gets too much, when we hear it 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I've been called out.
Italy.
My broadcast partner on my day job, Matt, has called me out. I don't have a topical tag.
Oh yeah.
Just letting the side down.
Right. Okay.
Give him
Talk
30
amongst
seconds.
yourselves. No. Because I now know how to put on topical text, so I will put one on while you talk, because otherwise it'll take way too long. And much as the tension is there, we want to be done before 1 a.m.
I was going to say we're building suspense now as to what the topical tag is going to be. And while we do that, we need to say hello to everyone. I can confirm, Matthew, you were first this evening. Time for Team Chaos. Yes, absolutely. Back live, of course. Good evening to Emma. Good evening to Graham. Good evening to Mark joining us. Evening to Paul. Evening to Emily as well. Evening to Simon. And everyone joining us. Thank you very much. Of course, our other, it all sounds awful saying other Chloe, doesn't it? No, we have one Chloe. Our other Chloe is in the chat. Good evening. And we can't wait to get started. So, while Paul's thinking of his topical tag, do you want some fun facts about the opening ceremony?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I just found out all this today, and it's quite wonderful. The theme of this year's tournament, anyone know?
Football.
No.
Unity.
Good teams getting grouped.
Is it live, laugh, love?
You know what?
Bracelets.
Is it Casa d'Amor?
Is it the Villa? No.
That was the wrong show. Rosie will call me out on that. That was take me out, wasn't it? Anyway.
I was going to say, they all just blend into one when you've watched that many. No, this year's tournament is the Summit of Emotions.
Oh.
The Summit of Emotions.
Oh, see, because Switzerland has mountains. You see,
there we
they
go.
thought about
Yes,
it.
clever. It's clever. It's a creative concept which unfurls in 3 acts. So in the opening ceremony, there will be 3
it's just being our shite. Yes.
And each of them will be capturing a key element of the tournament spirit. So there we go. And that's all they've said. So who knows?
And which one of them will be Spain being blatantly favoured by referees?
Well, I can tell you 185 cast members will be involved. Bit worried about this one. 40 inflatable props. 40 inflatable props.
Inflatable prop.
Oh.
Inflatable props. And 29,000 T4 cards distributed to the audience.
Oh,
So
nice.
be prepared to be wowed. But
But
also,
will it be as good as the opening number from Eurovision made in Switzerland? Because I think we should have a rendition of that as well for.
yes, if anyone watched this year's Eurovision Song Contest, of course, the song that actually should have been selected as their winning song was made in Switzerland. So yes, that needs to be.
Are they going to have the amazing Eurovision presenter who I've forgotten the name of? The one
The
who
opening act.
No, the one of the presenter who came up with amazing lines like, "Oh, this place is full of emotions, but we are Swiss. We don't have emotions. We have money."
Oh, Hazel.
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 Yes, we want
Yes.
Hazel in the opening ceremony. She can be the MC for it.
Oh, imagine if we got Hazel. Hey, we'll put a request in. So we can't wait, of course, for the opening ceremony. But also, the stakes are higher than ever this year. I don't know if people have seen about the prize money. It's more than doubled compared to the previous tournament. 16 teams will share 41 million euros, with each federation receiving at least 1.8 million and required to allocate at least 30% to players. Okay. And the eventual champions stand to earn up to 5.1 million euros as well. Some pretty decent money involved. And of course, for clubs releasing players, the clubs get quite a bit of money as well. I know it was reported Barcelona are getting quite a hefty amount for releasing so many players to the national team.
So that means then 1.8 million for each federation. 30% of that goes to the players. So
at least
about 500,000 ish, maybe a bit more. Split between 23 players is about 25 grand each, which should just about cover Giorgio Russo's sun cream bill.
Right, someone make a tally in the chat. How many times is Paul going to mention Love Island, Georgia?
Oh, I've got loads. I've set them up.
And so the hatred is real. But one last thing before we get into some previews, of course. They have confirmed technology in place at the Euros as well. Some of this will be in play for the first time. So there will be VAR, of course, as we should expect. There's also going to be video assistant referee, and 3 video operators in the group stage.
So the second assistant to the assistant. Is that like Gareth in The Office?
Yes, it's assistant to the video assistant.
Yeah, so VAR and a VAR
Right.
will be in place.
Just in case,
So that's
VAR only do offsides. Is that how it works?
Well, it's someone else's check, isn't it? Because as we all know, these decisions can sometimes take ages. But from the quarterfinals, there's going to be 2 AVARs per game.
So there's 8 AVAR.
More eyes on it to make things run smoother, essentially.
So there's an assistant VAR.
Assistant. Well, yes, unless they're doing a job share, and then they can split it equally.
Assistant video assistant referee.
Imagine trying to write that on your CV. Assistant video assistant. Yeah, predictive text would be a nightmare with that one. However, for the first time, semi-automated offside technology will be in use. For the first time ever, and also for the first time ever, the official match ball will feature Adidas connected ball technology, which sends precise ball data to video match officials in real time. We are adults on this podcast, I promise.
There's usually 2 of them.
Not in this game. UEFA has installed goal line technology as well in all of the stadiums. So that's kind of a given. So goal line technology.
Including the Vankdorf Stadium, I believe.
Oh, I knew you were going to get that one in.
Yeah.
Home of young boys.
Home of young boys, yes.
It just writes itself.
Freya's just sat there like, oh, Christ, they're off, right?
No, my brain is going, do I make this worse or do I decide to be an adult and move on?
We haven't even talked about the opening ceremony music, by the way, which is, not to put too fine a point on it, shit.
And Paul has 30 seconds to tell you more about it. Go.
Okay, so Beatrice Egli won the German equivalent of Pop Idol 10 years ago. So this is the equivalent. So, justice for Alex Parks. But also, she does German Schlager music, which is really shit. Like, imagine Steps, but worse. And then imagine a whole musical
don't say anything against Steps.
Not wrong with Steps.
I got the Chloe glasses then, didn't I?
So All Stars or something like that.
Oh yeah, S Club Juniors.
S Club Juniors. Yeah.
Like this level of kind of really saccharine.
Like One True Voice, like all of those.
Yeah.
From back in the day.
Imagine.
Like, carry on talking, and when we
Rick Waller,
because otherwise I could go into ages, and I will go and look up Beatrice
Gemini.
Egli's,
You remember those from Eurovision?
Oh God, Beatrice Egli's biggest hit is called "My Heart." It's Mein Herz, and this is where you have a German speaker, and you're going to be really lucky. Her live performance highlights last 30 seconds.
Your explanation was supposed to last 30 seconds as well.
Yeah,
it was. And now we move on. No, because they've announced, haven't they? So it's a Swiss and a Norwegian singer have been announced for the national anthems. And you're right, they've both got links to I think it's the Norwegian Idol as well, and then the German Idol. So yeah, they're very much in their country. People will. I mean, I don't know. People might appreciate who they are. They might not.
Germans are ashamed of the fact that Beatrice Egli is.
They're ashamed.
They've already said Germany is going to show itself up on a world stage, and also brilliantly, one of her favourite songs is "Horny auf der Mint," which to English nine sounds like "horny on the mint," and she just says that over and over again. So
hey, each to their own. We don't judge on this podcast. She
gets turned on by After Eight. So there you go.
Hey, there's a sponsorship. There's a sponsorship deal that happened. Graham says, well, we need some Sound of Music going on. Hey, you never know.
The
We might
hills will be
bring the
alive
Lily
with the
Boys up.
sound of shite. Right.
How pleasant, lovely. And to those who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the podcast. We promise we are going to talk about football in precisely 30 seconds if the dog stops barking.
I mean, apparently Beatrice Eggley is the climax of the opening ceremony. So they are putting
She's on last.
the obscure German singer, and she is Honey Off the Mint, so presumably that's why she's the climax. But that's
Fantastic. Oh,
I
dear.
just wish they did Electric Callboy. There you go. Google them. Look up their song Hurricane. That's what they should have done for the opening ceremony.
I think I'm scared, to be honest, now after you've mentioned all of them.
No, it's German Schlager and death, but then it goes into death metal halfway through. But I still don't know.
Okay. As you'd expect, of course.
As
Yeah.
you'd expect.
Lots of very good innuendo jokes in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for putting those. We have missed you. We have indeed. Now then, group stages. We have groups A, B, C, and D. And what we've done, we've assorted a group to each person. Danny is going to cover group A for us. I've got
Hello.
group B.
Sorry. Just an introduction in case.
Just in case people hadn't read your name.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so Danny, second from bottom there, as you've seen. Chloe, who's just underneath me, second screen, is going to take group C. And Paul, who's at the bottom, gets the D. So, told you.
Yes! Why am I so happy about that?
You know what the sad thing is? I made that joke in the chat and no one responded. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to do it live.
If you were wondering before whether I was officially going to come out on the podcast, if you didn't know already, there you go. That wasn't actually a joke. But anyway,
Hey, we're in the service.
that's why I've got a 7 because I get the D. Anyway. You started this. You started this.
I did. Yeah, I have no regrets. I have no regrets whatsoever.
He has a brother, you know. Sorry.
Yeah, right. I'm going to ask a very serious question now to all of you.
Yes, please.
Would you prefer to talk about your group as a whole, or should we do one each and do like a round robin? What would people prefer? Any preference?
I think that people having to listen to me talk for 20 minutes might get aneurysms.
That is true. Okay, right. Let's do one each.
That's true.
Plus, it keeps us all on our toes, and it makes it move a little bit quicker.
Yeah, we can still keep coming back to the graphic. People know what's going on, don't they? The
Yeah,
groups.
exactly.
Should we?
Chloe's
I know.
like,
Shall we
it's a
put instead of now we've all got topical tags? Shall we put in our usernames which group we're doing?
Yes. Okay. Go on then. Right. So I'm group B. So there we go.
Admin.
Oh, no.
Admin task. There we go. Done.
You all missed that's Russo Fetch, by the way, which I was quite proud of.
Group A.
Russo. Yes. Good. I was reading it thinking, hey, but now I get it. It's all good. Thank you to everyone in the chat who appreciated that. Here all night because we haven't even started yet. Right, so Danny, we're going to come to you first.
Hello.
With Group A, of course. Completely up to you, but maybe Switzerland, our lovely horse country,
Yeah, why
could
not?
be a nice little place to start.
Start with the Swiss, shall we?
Yes.
Yes, because you've already asked me to. Switzerland. Yeah, not in great form coming into the tournament. A home tournament, obviously, as the hosts, as they would be.
Yes.
They beat France all the way back in October, but since then their form has fallen off a mountain. Since they got hammered 6-0 by Germany, lost 4-0 to France as well, lost to Norway. So it's not the best preparation for a home tournament coming into it. Their coach is very, very experienced in Piet Sundhage. former US women's national team coach, of course. 2 Olympic golds, World Cup silver with the US, managed Sweden to Olympic silver in 2016. So she's got that tournament pedigree to lead them in. I think the appointment was really well received by the Swiss. My 3 Swiss friends all agreed when I asked them that she was a really good. I don't have any Swiss friends. They all of their fans thought that's a really, really good appointment. But just the last couple of months, it's not been the best of preparation. They've got players playing, particularly in defence, who haven't really been playing a lot for their club teams this season. They've been in and out of their teams. She's sticking to the 3-5-2 system. It's being criticised quite a lot by their fan base. So not really completely well with the old Swiss. But having said that, got some real quality in their team as well. Leo Volti, of course, we all know about, 32-year-old. 125 international appearances now. Pretty much the player that they build the team around. The experience of the likes of Noel Maritz, of course, you know, Freya, Anna Maria. I'm going to get this. Yeah, Anna Maria, I'll call her, but Suna Gorcevic, I think.
Suna Gorcevic.
Is that the way you say it? That's right. So she's so experienced as well, lethal in the penalty area as well. But it's the youngsters that want to pull out and have a look at the likes of Iman Bernay, 18-year-old, Sydney Schertenleib, another 18-year-old. Both of them could really, really break through to the team in this tournament. I think Bernay, she's signed for Man City this week, so really, really one to watch. She's so pacey, so skillful, so powerful on the ball. Could be a breakout tournament for her. Schertenleib, another one. She's a little bit more well-known maybe, but she's signed for Barcelona last year, had a really good season. And those two, I think, are going to be standouts for them in terms of young players coming through to complement the experience of the others on the team. So it's a really interesting mix of experience and youth for the Swiss. They just need to bring it all together. They haven't been doing it in the last few weeks, but been given a good group, and you kind of look at it and think they've got to take this chance when they've been given it, because it's a group they can get out of, and for them that's going to especially in a home tournament. Group, isn't it? Yeah, it's I think because they're the hosts, obviously they get a little bit of a nicer group, but at the same time they've got to go and take that chance while it comes, because it feels like a huge moment for football in that country, and we've seen what it's done for us over the last few years, having hosted one. They're probably not going to win it, are they? But they've got a chance to get through the group and create that. Yeah, a chance to get through the group and create that really good feeling around football in their country. Yeah. Really excited to see how they do, actually, especially, as I say, these 2 young players who are coming through. Really, really wants to watch in the tournament. So I do hope they sneak through, because it'd be good for the tournament. I'm just not convinced on their form at the moment.
No.
Coming into it,
it's hard, isn't it? Because Emma said, do you reckon the home advantage might give them that extra boost that they might need to get out the group, if nothing else? That's
the thing, isn't it? With home tournaments, it does give you that advantage a little bit with the fan base. If they win their first game, which I think is against, let me have a look as I get my watch out. Against, Norway. Nice and small. It's against Norway, the first game. So that's obviously a huge game to start off with. But if they get something out of the game, if they perform well, if they get a point even, that can create that feeling for Switzerland going into the next games, especially against a team like Norway. If they've got Iceland and Finland to come get a result in the first game, it can always kick them off well, and seems good things. So yeah, I think the home crowd can play a part. If it goes wrong, though, that's the opposite effect, isn't it? If they suddenly get hammered by Norway, then it works the opposite way, and people get nervous. So yeah, interested to see how they do. The Swiss.
Absolutely. And there is unfortunately one thing we do need to address with the Swiss national team. All of the misogynists that have been posting in the last day or so, as Tony's put in the chat there. The news that they lost 7-1 to under 15s boys team. At the end of the day, they were closed behind doors training matches in prep for the Euros. No one ever said this is a competitive match and it's going to count for. No one said that. So, Danny, what would you say in reply to any idiots who are retweeting that?
You're all absolute pillocks, is what I'll say to that. I think this kind of thing happens all the time, right? Like teams play younger teams and whatever teams in the build-up competitions. It just so happened that this one leaked out. I'm sure this happens quite a lot. I think the US women's national team played one that they lost 5-1 at some point along the way. It happens. It's got publicized, and now it's it's turned into the misogynist idiots coming out on social media and using it as a reason to batter down their team, and that's not what you want going into a tournament, is it? It
basically got
ridiculous.
reported because the Daily Star wanted an excuse to print a picture of Alicia Lehman. That was
literally every single one had a picture of Alicia Lehman on it, and it's like, we get it, you're using her as clickbait, nothing else. I even saw one headline, the world's sexiest footballer team, so it's nothing to do with Switzerland, nothing to do with that. It was that got thrashed 7-1 by the boys team, and it's like,
it's ridiculous.
Don't report it. If you hate women that much, just shut up.
And the thing is that, like, as well with Lehman, she's not been fit. She's not been playing much. She's only kind of snuck into the squad at the last minute almost. And there is so much more to like about this team than Alicia Lehman. Like, I almost think if she's not in the team, it'll be better for them because there's not that weird media attention that they get. And you know, there's a lot going on with this Swiss team. There's a lot to like about it. And you just hope that doesn't carry on through the tournament, but it probably will, though, won't it? Because it's the way.
And that's the thing, because Matthew's putting there Rutzler as well. You know, so many names we'd be here all day going through them, won't we? But you just think you're right. There's so many great players in there. Ramona Bachmann, of course, out with her ACL.
Yeah, that's what I was going to come on to.
Yeah, massive knock there. But I do just want to say with the training games as well, they won a game. They played 3 games. They won a game. They won 2-1. They narrowly lost. And then they had that 7-1. No one else is reporting that. They're just like, they got thrashed. And it's like, they're training matches. Get the context.
But also, like, the emphasis on the amount of headlines with boys in the title, like the emphasis on that. And it's just like, just go away.
Yeah, literally.
Trying to get excited for a tournament, just get out.
Yeah, literally get out. Graham, of course.
Do you think they'd have reported it if the Lionesses had played, say, Chelsea under 15s and lost? Would they? Heck, no way.
One of our newspapers would have done. I'm pretty good sure.
Yeah, probably the Sun or something like that, and they would have again twisted it in a weird way. It's weird. Yeah. The way these things get printed, it's not news, it's, you know, tabloid crap. So that's all we're going to say on it, because that's all they need.
Thank you, Graham. That was excellent, by the way.
It was an excellent fun.
Yeah. Sorry, my dog's just fallen off the windowsill.
The dog's just torn the windows down.
No, he fell off the windowsill. He likes to lie on it, and I forgot he was up there, and he's trying to jump down. And he's sorry. He's got a big head. He's fine. So that was.
Has he landed on his head?
He bounces maybe a little bit.
He bounces on his big head.
He does. He's so cute. Are you okay, Stormy? Oh, he's a bit embarrassed. Bless him.
He's been outed on YouTube for having a big head and he's falling off the window. Of course, he's embarrassed.
You've seen his head before. He's huge, bless him.
Also, Matt breaking out, so long, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, saying goodbye if a team lose to Switzerland.
Oh, there could be so many jokes, couldn't there? And we're going to make them. We're going to make them throughout. So that's our first team from Group A, Switzerland. So Danny, is a summary then. Chance to get out the groups, but maybe not very much further than that, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure. This is a good group. I'm quite enjoying this group. It's like a really nice holiday if you go through all 4 countries. That's not anything to do with football, but I think it's going to be a really exciting group, and maybe not like the bags of goals flying in everywhere, but the young talent in all 4 teams, and the intrigue as to it could be any 2 of these 4 that go through. Like, you could genuinely make a case for all 4 of them. And Switzerland will see this as a real big, like I said, real big chance to get through. But yeah, possibly sneaking through in second.
Sneaking through second. I like it. I like those odds indeed. Right then, I'm going to come to you with Group B. Might as well do first on Spain.
Rubbish.
Where do we start? Nothing much to talk about, really. They're quite a small team. They haven't really done much. But yeah, I think looking at Group B, I think Spain are probably the most likely to top the group with their recent form. You know, absolutely brimming with talent. However, they've never won the Euros. So this could be the form that they're in. This could be their year. The furthest they've ever got was in 1997. I don't my research, where they got to the semi-finals. So there you go. 2022, of course, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals by England. So it guaranteed they'd be wanting revenge there. And of course, they didn't have Alexia Putellas last time, did they? Because she ruptured her ACL on the eve of the opening night. Key players, you know, we talk a lot about Aitana Bonmati. We talk about Mariona Caldente week in, week out. We've seen Onabaje, Alexia, like we've mentioned. However, we've got players that shouldn't be underestimated, like your Claudia Pinas. You've got Salma Paraluelo, who has so much more potential at international level. However, we need a moment for Esther Gonzalez, because at the moment, fans of the NWSL will know she is the top scorer in NWSL at the moment. She is on fire. Danny, Chloe, I know you watch the NWSL quite religiously. Would you agree she's probably underrated in that side, do you think?
Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She is on absolute fire. And like, she can be that focal point as well. You've got so many players buzzing around her that can produce stuff. She is like a typical out and out number 9, and she'll just finish everything. People will be talking about all the other names, but she's going to be one to watch, I think. So.
Definitely one to watch. And of course, you know, we also said, well, what names aren't going to be there? Of course, we've got Jenny Hermoso. We've got Misa Rodriguez not being called up as well, goalkeeper. She also wasn't called up for the last group of Nations League games either. So there's still, you can tell, a lot going on behind the scenes with players. And it's just, you really wish there was a fair reflection on the players who deserve to be there. But that's an argument for another time. And if players are being given the opportunity, you know, this is their time to shine, isn't it? Under Montse Tommy, of course, the team have been quite hit and miss. Yes, they're good. Yes, they've been able to score goals, but they haven't kept a clean sheet in their past 6 Nations League games, which is quite worrying. But I think personally, you know, they are going to get out the groups, aren't they? It's just whether when they get to those bigger teams, if they can tighten the defense and if they can really, really go for it. But yeah, I don't think they're going to have any trouble, because out of Italy, Portugal, Belgium, who I'll talk about in a minute, I think it's going to be tough between those 3, but I think Spain are going to do enough to get through to the next stages. But yeah, I mean, Spain are all right, aren't they? I think. Not one to forget anytime soon, of course. Right, let's go to Chloe. Group C. Where would you like to go first? Which country?
I might as well start at the beginning, like everyone else, and go with Germany.
It's a very good place to start, as Julie Andrews once said.
The music's endless.
Oh, so many jokes. But yes, Germany. Tell us your thoughts on Germany, please.
Okay, so to get to the position where they are, to be fair, they actually did quite well with qualifying. So they cruised through it. They defeated Iceland 3-0 and only had one little blip to top the group. They're also currently the Olympic bronze medalists, aren't they? So that's probably quite good going into this tournament. They also have some good players that we will know. They've got Rebecca Knack from Man City. They've got Katrin Berger, who was at Chelsea. They've got Lee Schuler. They've got Clara Bruhl. They've got some really good, strong players, but one player who is missing is Lena Oberdorf. She had a knee injury. I think she did ACL. Did she? Could be wrong. Yeah.
Yes. Knee injury.
Yeah. So she hasn't recovered from that in time, so she is missing, and I think that could be a problem for Germany. Like, I think they might struggle with not having her. But do you know what? They're not a side to be messed with. Obviously, they did get to the final in 2022, and we beat them. How do we say? Great time. Yeah, to be fair, their history in the competition is pretty pretty good. They've won it 8 times in 89, 91, 95, 97, 2001, 2005, 2009, and 2013. They got to the group stage of the World Cup. They came third in the Nations League, obviously the Olympics third place, and finished in first place in the Nations League. So they're not a team to mess with or worry about. So I think that Germany are going to try and seek revenge from the last tournament and try and get one step further and get the trophy.
You'd hope. Yeah, they're definitely not a team that you can take for granted, no matter what their form, what they've done. They're always gonna turn up, aren't they? Matthew predicts Germany just need to have Sierka Nuskin in their team and they'll finish up with Group C. Hey. And Tony's put there, of course, as our resident Swede. The only team I fear in our group is Germany. We can beat Denmark and Poland, but if we get a point out of Germany, we're good to go. So there you go. So yeah, out of the group. So where was I going with that? So Chloe, do you think Germany have got a good chance of getting out of the group then?
I do, yeah. I think they've got a strong chance of getting out.
Wonderful. And of course, we will just interrupt this very important broadcast. Taylor Hines is set to leave Liverpool.
It's going to Arsenal, is she? I think.
Yeah. Tom Gary just reported it like 5 minutes ago. My friend Tom Gary, can I just add, follows me on Twitter.
Clang.
Northampton's own Taylor Hines, by the way.
Can I just point out, by the way, for everybody who has seen the German squad, Germany's number 6, her surname is not pronounced the way you think it is. It's pronounced Minga.
Great.
Which,
quite as good.
To some extent, isn't better. But yes, I see your point. Yes,
it's basically going to give commentators fits.
Let's pray for the commentators now, shall we?
Janina Minga is going to give people fits if they stay. But I think Laura Freigang is going to have, because they need a focal point up front. It's either going to be Leah Schuler, who I'm a huge fan of, or it's going to be Laura Freigang.
Freigang's a good shout. Yeah, I like that. Interesting from Emily. I don't know why Arsenal want her. I don't think she's good enough. Shots fired, Emily.
That's your own team.
Al hath no fury like a Scouser scorned, as we've seen with Trent Alexander-Arnold as well.
Does this mean that Katie McCabe's now free to go and join the Kang Revolution?
Kang Revolution.
Oh, Kang for her is funny.
Oh, imagine if someone like Tom Gary or Emma Sanders decided to just have fun and go, hearing that Taylor Hines is the Katie McCabe replacement after a big money big from London City, just Twitter meltdown.
from an unnamed London squad team that's not in London.
Just absolute Twitter meltdown.
Oh, that would be hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. If one of our journal friends could do that, that would be fantastic.
She absolutely is good enough, I think, by the way, as well.
She is.
Yes.
Who needs things like journalistic integrity when you control an entire fan base, the most annoying fan base on Twitter?
Hey, if you can do it, then why not? So yes, Germany set and poised to go through the group stages. Paul, your first... No, I'm not going to make that joke. Where would you like to go first?
Go on, I dare you. What joke were you going to make? I'm curious now.
I was going to ask about your first D of the afternoon. Where
Well, hold on.
Wait.
I'm going to slip in nicely and with my first D of the afternoon and go to Wales. Rather than start with the first obvious one, we'll get the tournament newbies out of the way.
Yes, debutantes.
And what a joy to see Wales women at a major tournament, first of all. Like, I think we were all incredibly pleased to see her at a major tournament because Michael Sheen hasn't returned my calls yet, by the way. I'm still working on him with the inspirational thing. I should have saved the one I did back in the Mr. Time. We'll have to dig that back out. But
Oh, yes. Yeah.
a red storm is coming to the gates of Switzerland. Anyway, Imoroheed, my friends. That's not a bad Welsh accent, actually. Sorry if there's any Welsh people watching. Anyway,
We tried our best.
you wouldn't believe I have a time limit, would you? Right, so
Go.
Wales squad. Starting goalie has just joined Leicester City, Olivia Clark. Now, I have had the pleasure of interviewing her and talking to her in person when she was at Coventry United. She is a lovely human being and is also very much an improving goalie, if you like. Played Champions League football last season with FC20. And although apparently she was also Olivia Smith, according to DAZN, as everyone will remember the commentary. And also Safia Middleton Patel, who has also played for Coventry United. You know, it's just the pipeline to international.
Hey, all the ex-Cov players.
All the ex-Cov players. Yeah. Hayley Ladd, formerly played for Coventry City, but you didn't know that one. And Charlie Escort as well are among the former squad. One of the players who hasn't made it, who I am surprised about, is Mary McAteer, who is a very exciting young winger for Sunderland. People who watch the Championship will be very familiar with her, so most of the podcast won't be, but you know.
But this is our platform. We'll introduce her, yeah.
She's a very exciting young player, but she isn't travelling to the Euros. And when you look at the Wales squad, it's actually quite a nice mix of experience and youth that their new coach, Rhian Wilkinson, who, of course, former Canadian international, joined them at the beginning of last year and has led them to the Euros. Defensively, you've got players like Hayley Ladd, Rhiannon Roberts, Gemma Evans as well, who are all pretty expensive. Rhiannon Roberts in particular is very versatile. She can play defence or midfield, and that versatility, as we know, is always key in a tournament. Yep. Josie Green, formerly of Crystal Palace, can do the same thing. Ella Powell is a very exciting wing-back. Esther Morgan as well. And then we move to kind of the big names of the Welsh squad, if you like, in midfield. You've got Sophie Ingle, Angharad James, Rachel Rowe, all vastly experienced players who've played a lot in the WSL, and Angharad James, obviously, for the Seattle Reign as well. But the big name in Welsh, although not the player that I picked as the key player, but certainly the name that everyone else would pick out, is Jess Fishlock, who is a Welsh legend. She is, you know, if they were designing a statue of female women's footballers from Wales to put outside Cardiff, it would be Helen Ward and Jess Fishlock as the two players who stood outside. She doesn't give two hoots, as we saw when Wales did qualify, and she did her very own Welsh version of Jill Scott on Twitter. But despite being in her late 30s, despite being, in fact, 38 years old, currently still plays for the Seattle Reign in the NWSL, 162 caps, 47 goals, and she still will be one of the key players. Around her, as well as Angharad James, is the captain, and Rachel Rowe, Sophie Ingle as well, who WSL fans will be very aware of, leaving Chelsea this summer after lots of service there. Alice Griffiths, who has recently joined Durham after previously playing for Southampton. And then up front, as Graham mentions, Kaylee Barton, Carrie Jones as well, former Manchester United player, Hannah Kane, who hopefully can be famous for more than dating her manager this summer, and Fionn Morgan, whose family are Welsh YouTubers. Well, I know Danny is something of a fan of from Bristol City. But the name that
YouTubers or Fionn Morgan? Fionn Morgan herself.
Fionn herself. The rest of the family.
I don't know anything about the YouTubers, but yeah. Fionn Morgan's a great player.
Lots of YouTube stuff. But the name that I picked out, after going through the entire squad, is your classic number 9. A player who we raved about last season for Crystal Palace, who was injured this season, and that probably had a big impact on their WSL efforts. Elise Hughes.
Yes.
Who is your prototypical number 9. She's big, strong, powerful. She can finish. And Wales in that group need to find goals because they will, with all due respect to their defence, they probably will concede goals because of the sheer attacking power elsewhere. And so Elise Hughes is the player that I've picked out as the one who will have to score. And if she has a big tournament, she's the female equivalent of Gareth Bale in the sense that Jess Fishlock is the one who everybody looks at as the heart of the team. But Elise Hughes is the player who people who know what they're watching will be watching to go, right, someone's got to score the goals. She will be that person.
Yeah. And, it's been named the group of death for a reason. So you're absolutely right. If Wales can find those goals, there may just be something in it to nick a point and do something really, really incredible if they can.
I think they're getting out the group.
Do you?
I do. And the reason I think they're getting out the group is because they have very similar vibes to the Welsh team at the 2016 Euros, the Welsh men, who had a lot of fairly unheralded players. It was particularly funny watching when you used to go when they had the squad list and you'd look at the teams they played for, and Gareth Bale stood out because you had like Cardiff, Swansea, Leicester, Norwich, loads of teams, Real Madrid. And this Welsh team, Rhiannon Wilkinson has really performed wonders with them.
Yep.
And I think they're primed for a shock because nobody's giving them a chance, so they've got absolutely nothing to lose.
I was going to say they've got nothing to lose, so they might as well just leave it all on the pitch and just completely go for it. And could you imagine if they, they get a win against France, and they, could win against us, really? If they really go for it, who knows?
We'll come to it when we talk about the French team and when we talk about the Netherlands as well. But I think there are weaknesses. I think there are things with Rhiannon Wilkinson. If this was the Welsh team under Gemma Granger and they somehow pulled it off, I'd be like, nah, no chance, because Gemma Granger's management style was very, very different to Rhiannon Wilkinson's. But the way Wilkinson has instilled belief in the Welsh team and come up with motivational things like their squad announcement being on the top of Snowdon. And apparently she took them up there 6 months beforehand and said, visualise being on top of here in 6 months, being told you're going to the Euros. As a motivational tactic. Sorry, Irwidfa is the official name of it. Calling it Snowdon, but obviously it's
that announcement was incredible. That was brilliant. The fact that they put that.
It was one of the best. I don't think it was the best one. I think the Finnish one was probably the best one I've seen so far.
Yes.
The Finnish one was incredible. And I was pleased that they put English subtitles on it as well.
Yeah.
So
just so we could join in.
The Wales thing is so poetic as well, in that with it being Switzerland and how they went out of the World Cup qualifiers in Switzerland. It was like injury time, wasn't it, when Switzerland scored that goal to knock them out of the World Cup qualifying, and now they're going back in their first tournament to Switzerland. And there's just a lovely feel to it. It's always fun to have a new team in it. But their fans, the passion that their fans always have is going to carry them quite a long way. I think so. I think they're the third most ticket sales is to Wales fans in the entire tournament so far. So there's going to be a lot of them over there. Pretty much the entirety of Wales is going to be there in Switzerland.
I do, and I hope as well they break out the same as they did with the men, where they break out "Don't Take Me Home" and Imar O'Heed.
They're going to go all in. They're not going to do things by halves. They're just going to go all in. That's going to be their power, isn't it, and the fans as well.
And that's why I think they could catch one of the other three teams. They only need to finish ahead. Realistically, well, Wales need to finish ahead of two of the big teams, but on a one-off game, you don't look at any of those. You don't look at any of those games and think now and think Wales are going to get hammered. As England fans, with the sketchiness of our England performance at the moment, would you want to play Wales in a major tournament?
Nope. No, exactly.
Which, by the way, is the final group game.
It is.
So.
It's going to be a good one, isn't it? It's going to be such a good tournament. But yeah, so if we kind of put our English allegiance aside, I really want Wales to do well. I really, really do. Just something about them.
It's one of those things, like Danny said, for Switzerland. It's one of those things where, women's football in England has now had its big leap into the spotlight. Whatever you think about how it's been handled and how growth has been handled since then. The big thing about major tournaments is you want those stories like Morocco at the last Men's World Cup, like Wales at Euro 2016. Yeah. And I honestly think Wales could be that story. I think they could emulate the men. Maybe not quite as far as the semi-finals, because as soon as they get out the group, they're going to be facing the big guns. And it will be a struggle.
Once they've got out of group of France, Netherlands, and England, now they're going to face the big guns. Now for the real tests.
Yeah, genuinely, because group stage, they got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So they're just going to be going there and playing, and they know if they lose all 3 games, the narrative at the end will still be, "Oh, plucky Wales have done their country proud," and it's great to see them here and hope to see them again. If they get out the group, then there'll suddenly be all the pressure of, well, what if?
Yeah, no, 100%. And yeah, I mean, what an opportunity to get, which they've earned completely. So yeah, just they can, can they do it? We really, really, really hope that they can. Perfect. Okay, Danny, back to you then in Group A. Where would you like to go next?
I would like to go to Norway, please.
Let's go to Norway. And would you like an inside cabin or an outside cabin on that cruise?
Inside, please.
Inside. Ooh, incorrect.
You have chosen Polly. Well, he's just going to disappear now.
Will Jane be there on the cruise?
Yes, it is a Jane McDonald cruising with. We're going to the fjords, and it's going to be incredible. And she's going to serenade us as we go past all of the keys.
If Danny pays really close attention on that cruise, will it be a fjord focus?
Hey,
that's brought me back.
That was me seeing you disappear. I was like, right, I will fill time with a
a way to bring me back. I just did on purpose, Mark. What are we doing? Norway.
Yes,
please. Yeah.
Norway. Yes, way.
Norway.
It's Geordie's saying Norway is just Geordie people saying no, isn't it?
Yeah.
Geordie people
Norway.
Come on, Norway, wake up. This is what I want to say to Norway. Like, too many times over the last few tournaments, they've had all the talent in the world and they've not lived up to it. Obviously, we enjoyed it in the last Euros with the 8-0 drubbing in the group by England. But 2023, they pretty much limped out their group as well, not really pulling up any trees before they went out to an excellent Japan team. Finished third in the qualifying group as well. So they had to go through the playoffs, beat Albania 14-0 over 2 legs, difficult league to defend and all that. And then beat Northern Ireland. And then beat Northern Ireland 7-0 over 2 legs, but which they were expected to do, right? They're quite a big nation in terms of women's football, massive history behind them. But when it's got to the major tournaments the last couple of times, they've just really flat to deceive. The aforementioned Gemma Granger in charge now, obviously born in Middlesbrough, English coach, former Wales head coach. She's in place now to try and get the best out of them. And you look through their squad again, and there's no excuse for them not really to top the group. It's just they've got to get to that point where in a major tournament they're actually delivering. There's just superstar names all over the place. Ada Hegerberg, obviously the most iconic forward. Former Ballon d'Or winner, Caroline Graham Hansen, one of the most recognisable names in world football, banging the goals in for Barcelona, can just drag a team and pull a goal out of nowhere. We know all about Frida Mornham, Guru Wrighton, obviously massive performances for Chelsea over the last few seasons as well. So they've got the superstar names, they've got the squad in place, and it's putting it all together. They're so talented, but when they get to that big stage, they sometimes freeze. And I don't want them to, because I want them to live up to that potential, because a couple of the players might be running out of time in a few years' time. They've had quite a few tournaments behind the belt, and it feels like the time when they've got to take this chance, especially again with this Group A that's so open, to go and attack it and to go and make a statement, to win 3 games out of 3 and power through and get that confidence that they haven't had in the last couple of tournaments. And I want them to just go and do it, Norway, for crying out loud. Wake up. And they're going to want. You'd like to think they want to make up for the last couple of tournaments and go and get at least to the semi-finals. Should be favourites to win the group and may well go a long way. They've got so much talent in there. I want to pick out. No, I want to pick out Signa
left back.
Signa Galpse, 20 years old, the brand player. Such a strong runner, absolute battering ram of a player. She'll run up and down the pitch, cracking shot on her. Might score a couple of Thundy Bees if we give her a chance as well. She might start on the bench, but she's been creeping into things a little bit more recently off the bench. Might be one that starts on the bench and gradually eases away into the tournament. But again, among all the superstar names, she might be the one that gets in and starts to stand out. She's only 20, and she's a really, really good player. I'm excited to see what she can bring. But no, in general, just come on, Norway. Stop messing about now.
You've had your time. You've had your silly time. This is time to focus.
Yeah. But just so much talent in that squad. And Maren Mjelde as well, 9th tournament with Norway.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And, again, thank you everyone in the chat as well. Tony's saying they're the most frustrating team, all the talent and everything, and they've got nothing. Matthew's saying they're similar to the Belgian men's team on paper, individual brilliant. But then on the international stage, they just can't seem to find a way through. We saw what happened at the Euros last time in Brighton. And you just think, what have they got to do to get it together and to gel? And this could be their year.
Find a top quality goalie is what they've got to do, in my opinion.
Well,
that set of goalies, they're choosing between Cecily Fiskerstrand and Aurora Mikkelsen, neither of whom are among the top echelon of European goalies. With all due respect to them. In my opinion.
They've got quite a small player pool as well, haven't they, Norway? So it's, I suppose, the smaller the pool, obviously.
Yeah. There was Norway in for anyone else. That's what it was.
There we go. But they've left a few interesting players out because Sophie Romanhaug isn't in the squad.
No, she's not. That's a surprise.
They put in Katrina Sivik today instead, who's basically a cart horse of a forward.
Maybe that's what they need. Maybe they just need an old-fashioned cart horse to drag them through. Yeah, that's the thinking.
Poor Anne of Cleves.
Anne of Cleves.
There you go. There's a reference.
That's my history degree coming in handy, right? But yeah, so this could be a tournament for so many countries for it to finally click and finally get through. Yeah. So looking at that, Norway, do you reckon they've got a chance?
I'm going to go for them to top the group of Group A. I think I will be cheering them on because I want them to wake up.
Okay.
And it's nice. It'll be nice to see Gemma Granger doing well as well, won't it?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I thought Anne of Cleves was German. Yes, but Henry VIII very nicely called her a cart horse of Flanders. Hence the cart horse.
That's the wrong person, isn't it?
There we go. See, we're educational on this podcast. Not just sports. Bit of history as well. And we've got tea adverts as well.
I mean, she took it calm with Anne of Cleves. It wasn't like she had a total head loss or anything over it.
Hey.
There we go.
No.
Where else do you get Tudor history jokes on a women's football? This is the award-winning stuff that other podcasts will kill for.
To be fair, Anne got off quite lightly, didn't she? She got Palace. She got a great. Anyway. Yeah, she's got one of the best songs in Six. Yeah, absolutely. Merging culture with history and football. There we go. Oh, there we go. Matthew thought I was saying Anne of Cleves was Norwegian.
There you go.
No, not indeed.
Speaking of history, Germany and Poland.
Right. Come on, Group B. Back to me then. I'm going to go to Portugal next. Again, another quite frustrating team that makes it incredibly hard to predict. Because they're again another team that haven't had the best run up to the tournament. Let's have a look. So, out of the last 6 Nations League games, drew against England, of course, won against Belgium, but then lost twice to Spain, also in the group, lost 6-0 to England. And then lost 3-0 to Belgium as well. So despite that, they've qualified for the last 3 European tournaments. So you think something's happening. Portuguese football, they're starting to get some investment. The players are starting to, play for bigger and better teams. And you think it's coming. It's gradually coming. Well, what can they do this year? Didn't qualify for the World Cup until 2023. That's the first time there. So the last couple of years are doing really, really good things. Huge question mark recently, of course, has been whether Kika will be fit enough. And it was only yesterday / this morning where they had confirmation that she has been included in the squad, but she's still in the later stages of her recovery. So how much of a part she'll play, we don't know. But yeah, whether she'll get a few minutes, but they're going to be missing a really, really creative player there. So a massive knock Portugal there. Another big name, of course, Jessica Silva, another NWSL player for Gotham, along with Esther Gonzalez. She is now back fit. She got an eye injury in training, so she was out for quite a while. But she is probably one of their most creative players to really drive forward and get the goals for them. And hopefully she'll be back in that starting lineup and really, really making a difference. They've also called up, a couple of countries have done this. They've got their squads and then they've got training players to go with them as well. So I think they've only named an extra two training players. So yeah, they're looking to get further than they have previously, because they only qualified for their first Euros in 2017. So Portugal in that group, if we're just getting it back up. Oh, yes, Anna Borges is still playing. Yep, 200 international caps. Matthew's not even read me notes. Yes, Anna Borges in defence. She definitely is still playing. And, they're going to need that experience in this competition. But yeah, I think Italy might just grab that second spot, but it's going to be tight between the three because of how unpredictable they all are. So Portugal could be a dark horse if they play their cards right, of course. Chloe, coming back to you, where would you like to go next in Group C?
I think we'll go to Poland.
We'll go to Poland. Lovely.
Just put in
I'll look at some flight packages for you now. Yeah, I'll get that.
Just thinking 1939, she did go Germany to Poland, you see? No, can't avoid it.
It started at the Tudors. World War II. Lovely.
Oh, look at Sam coming in with the Anne of Cleves knowledge as well.
Yeah. Hey, there we go. She was given Bisham Abbey as part of the divorce, which the England men trained up for 40 years. There you go. See, we knew there was another football link somewhere. Thank you, Sir Sam. There we
go. Stuff. So this is Poland's first ever major tournament.
Another debutant. Exciting.
Another debutant. Although they have won the under-17 Euros. So a little bit with players including Ua Power, who has been, at Barcelona this season, who's got 25 goals in 28 games, which is pretty impressive. So she's definitely one to look at. Another player that is on the radar is, let me just find it in my notes, Natalia Padula. She made her debut first in 2021, and this season for Sevilla, because she's been on loan. She plays for Bayern Munich, but she's been at loan at Sevilla. She has scored 12 goals in 44 games, and she is very a very versatile player. Like, she can play on both wings. She's quick. She works well with others on the pitch. She's got just a really good work ethic, and I think she's going to be a strong contender for. What are you laughing at?
What is Daniel laughing
It's-
at?
When you said wings, I just out the corner of my eye, I saw Freya going.
Oh, is that what that was?
Just so nonchalantly, though. Yeah.
Continue.
Believe she can fly.
Oh,
Right.
Graham, just say Germany. If Germany v Poland had been settled by VAR.
Or by a
Oh,
VAR.
no, hold
No
on,
one
hold
did
on.
it.
Germany. No, I've just realised the joke. Germany v Poland settled by VAR.
no, nice.
Oh.
Sorry, Chloe, we've just completely
Oh God, I don't know what I was
exactly as
saying now.
Matthew says. Chloe's trying to be a professional journalist here, and we're
I
all
was-
taking it away from her. Right, we're gonna be
Oh
quiet.
no,
Chloe.
Warsaw.
I want to be taken seriously as a journalist, guys.
Don't mention the VAR.
I don't even know what I was saying. Like, what?
I mentioned it
Oh,
once.
that's superb.
Oh,
That's
Tony.
the one.
That's it.
That's the
That's
one.
it. We've peaked. We've peaked.
I think I got away with it.
Award-winning podcast. I mentioned the VAR once, but I think I got away with it.
Oh,
Sorry, Chloe.
come on, Aled. Simru. Yeah.
Come right. There we
Hey.
go.
So Simru.
Poland have also lost all six of their qualifying matches for the tournament. Were relegated to League B in the Nations League, but
Mm.
still managed to seal a place in the Euros through the playoffs.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't think they're making it out of the group stage.
Oh, bless them. I mean, if
Well,
we,
Poland.
I mean, maybe
Overrun by Germany very quickly.
don't mention.
Don't mention the VAR.
Want mentions of what? Yeah, I agree. I think if they do, it's because there's been some major issues elsewhere. But the fact that they've got here and they've qualified should hopefully be, as they say in High School Musical, the start of something new. They're breaking free from their previous tournaments, and they're moving forward with. I've completely lost my train of thought now.
You know what morning's called in a Polish city?
Oh no.
The crack of
Crack
dawn.
of dawn.
Well done. I love that Johnny was just like, yeah, I've seen that one.
Told that one before.
How predictable, Paul.
That one was. But some of the players as well. Chloe is right with Eva Payor, and picking out Natalia Padilla as well. I'd have picked her out. But Adriana Achinska could be an interesting one. Currently plays for Cologne, an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
She could be one of those players from a smaller nation who gets noticed and gets linked with bigger teams. Like Wolfsburg, probably.
Yeah.
In Germany, or Bayern.
I've seen there's a lot of underrated talent in that side. And, again, being debutantes at this tournament, again, another team with nothing to lose. So you never know. You never know indeed what's going to happen. Okay, so Poland, we're all behind them. And, congratulations to them for getting to this stage. But
I didn't agree
if
to that.
we're-
Why are we all behind Poland? Why are we all behind Poland?
because they've got to this
The-
point. It's like
the
a
first one.
celebration that they've qualified for the first time. So as in, we can appreciate that, but if we, look at it professionally, Chloe's right. Probably not getting out.
It's a pity Germany v Poland isn't the first match of the Euros, isn't it? Because then we could have said they started it.
Oh, dear.
Paul. Luckily, we are going to Paul next. Who would you like to talk about next, Paul?
See, I'm saving England till last, I think.
Okay.
So let's talk about a nice, calm, settled, uncontroversial team. Actually, no, let's talk about France. So, yes, the French. They
Les
are
Bleus.
an interesting bunch, Les Bleus, with an E on the end
Yeah.
because it's feminine. And the
But are
reason
they
they are an interesting
Lyonnais? Sorry.
the reason they are an interesting bunch is because this French team has a whole bunch of notable absences. Specifically, Wendy Renard,
Mm.
who
Yeah, that's a
unbel-
choice. Ugh.
who unbelievably has been left out of the squad by the head coach Laurent Bonnadet. And as we know with French football coaches, they too are calm and emotional people who never cause controversy. As we know, Kelvin Diacre was famously uncontroversial. But he was formerly the head coach of this, or the assistant coach of the Saudi Arabia national team. So he's going from one hated dictatorship to France. And yeah, the thing that I keep saying about this team is it's full of talent again. You know, you just look at the attacking line. Candidato Diani, Delphine Cascarino, Marie-Antoinette Katoto. That is a hell of a starting front three.
Yeah.
If they're all fit. And then coming behind them, they have names familiar to the WSL. Melvi Mallard, Kelly Gargo as well, who we know Chloe is a huge fan of, and we're all huge fans of. And Clara Matteo, who is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in Europe for the position that she plays in. Plays for Paris FC in the French Ligue 1. I always wonder why it's called Ligue 1 and not Ligue 1.
Well, it's the Première Division now, isn't it?
The Premier Division now. They've changed it round.
To make it sound more professional.
Other names that will be familiar to English football watchers, if not commentators, who still can't pronounce them properly. Sandy Baltimore for Chelsea is another big name to keep an eye on. And then you have kind of the next generation of French players coming through. Ali Somba, who is very interesting. She is Thai French. So she's half Thai, half French. You also have Elisa Di Almeida, who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Maëlle Lacar as well, for Real Madrid. Grij Mbok Bathi, who plays for Paris Saint-Germain. But the names that I've picked out of all of those potential stars are the two fullbacks. And the wide players, Selma Basha, who plays for Lyon, who we love a flying wing back. And even more so than her, someone who's slightly older, but is quietly one of my favourite players in Europe. I'm just sad she plays for Paris Saint-Germain, so I don't get to see her watch a month, but I'm looking forward to watch her in this tournament. Sakina Karshawi, who is an absolute live wire playing wide and was very effective at the last tournament, kind of rotating and playing with Candidato Diani down that right side. Because while she's listed as a midfielder forward, she is played as kind of, you've almost got Basha and Karshawi nominally wing backs, but they defend even less than Lucy Bronze does. So there you go.
Hey, we'll have no Lucy Bronze slander on this podcast, thank you.
I will leave.
Getting Chloe's glasses again.
I will leave if there was a Bronze slander.
No.
And as well, they have personalities also in the team. No, Eugenie Lissomer. The interesting one will be in goal, because in theory the starting goalie is Pauline Perrault-Magnan, but she has had a rocky last few years, to say the least. Her partner passed away under what were briefly considered slightly questionable circumstances for a little while, and the way the French legal system works, she was investigated very briefly before it was shown that there was nothing to do with any of it. So she's coming back from that and has been delighted to return to football. Constance Picot, the backup goalie for Fleury, has kind of been sat there in the same way Hannah Hampton was behind Mary Earps for a while, where there have been discussions in France over who starts in goal. But unlike Mary Earps, Pauline Perrault-Magnan didn't have the courtesy to flounce off from pre-tournament training camp when she was told there might be competition. So it will be interesting to see what happens with that one. But I just think this French team have the malaise. That's a French word, everybody. Of all French teams, they have another team that have fantastic talent and should be battling to get out of the group and should be being talked about as being top of the group.
Yeah.
No, go on, you go first.
No, I was just going to say, I think they've got a very, very strong chance of getting out of that group. And I probably would put them I might put them top actually to get out of that group. But it's if they hold their nerve through it.
They've been thrown right into it. I think one of the best things that could have happened to them is being thrown into a group of death rather than being thrown into a relatively easy group, because they have to perform. They can't.
Yes, yeah. There's no complacency there. They've got to really go for it.
They can't do like certain other teams, Spain, and just ease their way into the tournament and still expect to get out. Because obviously their first game is against England at the Stadion Letzigrund in Zurich. And then they've got Netherlands to finish. So their two tough games, in inverted commas, are sandwiched. So if they lose to England, they're going to have a problem.
Yes.
But they will know that. And that's why it's also an issue for England. Netherlands will be looking and going, thank heavens we got Wales first. So we can settle into the tournament a little more. And again, that for Aled and any other Welsh people watching, because I've already talked about them, there is no disrespect to Wales. That's just the way the other teams would have viewed the group.
Yeah, and again, you're right, the way it's being drawn, what others will be doing. And as Aled rightly says there, if Wales come back with 1 or 2 points from the group, that would be an achievement, because they've shown they can do it. They can go toe to toe with these teams. And also quite jealous of Aled, because where's it gone? It's going to Wales versus Netherlands, Spain, Belgium, France, Wales, Portugal, Belgium, and Poland, Denmark.
Nice.
Oh, very good.
That's a nice set of games, that is.
Yeah,
very nice.
Very good indeed.
There's a nice mix of watching his own country and picking the games at the tournament that aren't the glamorous ones, but have potential to be the surprise ones.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, keep us posted with that, Aled. That sounds incredible. Right, thank you for that, Paolo. Right, Danny, coming back to you. Where would you like to book next on your holiday? Would you like to go to Iceland or Finland?
Please go to Iceland.
You may, yes, the land of the Dottiers.
All the Dottiers.
All of the Dottiers.
All of the Dottiers. We're all someone's Dottier. We're all someone's son. Where are we? Iceland, yes. Qualified in second place behind the Germans. I think we mentioned them a little bit earlier. Only one defeat, though, and they beat Germany 3-0 along the way during qualifying. Massive result for them, that was. So they got through it. And what was quite evident about Iceland in qualifying was they were so difficult to break down. 4 draws, only 2 defeats in the Nations League as well. They're a very, very hard team to beat, which it might not be completely pretty on the eye, but it gets the job done. They're quite heavily reliant on Svendis, that's right, Jonsdottir, their striker, top scorer in qualifying. Got a long throw as well, which is Susan Perb, which we love to see a long throw. The only thing about it is she'll probably want to be on the end of them, which I don't think is possible to quite do that, to throw it into herself, which she'd probably want to do. And Iceland,
one of the stars of the last Euros because of that long throw.
Yeah, outstanding throw. So big threat from set pieces as well. Long throw's going to cause absolute chaos. got some good names in there. Svendis as well, who we just spoke about. Glodis Vigosdottir, Bayern's defender. Absolute backbone of their defense, born leader, made a debut all the way back in Euro 2013 as well. So she's been in the squad ever since. She did miss a couple of the games later on and towards this summer, but she's recovered. She's back. She's just in time. And that defense that I spoke about earlier is so reliant on her leadership. She is the pivotal part of that squad, potentially even more so than Svendis is, because of the way they play, because they're so reliant on clean sheets and solid displays. She's the one that's going to lead the team and bring it all together. They've also got Cecilia Runarsdottir, voted Serie A's best goalkeeper last season. Crucial again with that defensive display. It's a solid opposition from Iceland. Again, might not be a thriller minute, but they will be difficult to break down. And that's the way that they're going to probably try and get through, is by carving out one win, picking up a couple of draws. And it might be enough. Looking at their group, it might be enough to get through if they frustrate teams. Like you can see them playing Norway, for example, and really frustrating their attackers and annoying them to the point where they get a 0-0 draw and then go and win one of the other games. I can see them beating Finland. I can see them beating Switzerland, and they could well sneak through. Yeah. And a little bit of Iceland as well. I'll go to Iceland. A bit of Iceland.
Well, Matthew, just remind you, if you are going to Iceland, spend more than £25 to get free delivery.
Yes. Just important information, yes.
I do particularly enjoy, by the way.
If you are going to Iceland, then if you've already gone, you don't really, you don't get delivery. You'd have to deliver yourself back to your house with it, which could be fun.
You get a lift back. If you claim delivery, you get a lift back.
You go, order £25, get on the van and come back. That's not the point of what I was saying, but it's still important, information.
I do enjoy, by the way, we were talking about Cecilia Runarsdottir, who, in terms of badass names, her middle name named after the Viking goddess of the sea, who pulls sailors to their doom. That's a name, isn't it? That's if you're talking about
incredible
things. And she could drag other teams to their doom. She could mire opposition forwards.
She could.
They could sink without trace.
They could.
There you go.
Love it. Tony said that, Iceland are really good. They've got quite a few players killing it in the Swedish league. And also shout out to Hlyn Eriksdottir. He went to Leicester recently and was great at Kristianstad as well. They've got some really, really, again, underrated players that we hope have their spotlight shone on them at this tournament.
They do like a player as a Thunder Bee as well.
They do. Yeah.
Carolina Lea Williamsdottir loves a Thunder Bee.
Oh, love the Thunder Bee.
So we'll be liking a few of them.
And the clap as well to go with it.
Indeed.
Thunderclap leading up to a Thunder Bee. That'd be
C leading to a Thunder Bee.
It's a good job they weren't in Group D, because if you got the Group D and then got the Thunderclap, then you'd have an issue.
You'd definitely have an issue with that. Thundybee.here is
Dundee does sound like an Icelandic girl's name, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Dundee.
Yeah. Hey, that works. That actually works.
Iceland. I want Iceland to get through out of this group. They're my favourites in this group. Not as in I think they're the best team, but I'd like them to get out of the group.
I'd like them to. Yeah, I think there was also a fact when there were some friendlies going on between them and Canada. I think I'm getting this fact right. If anyone knows it better, please do tell me. That Iceland were the only team to stop Canada scoring for however many games, and it was this huge thing, and then finally someone broke through. But yes, it was a proper standoff between the two. So they are very, very frustrating. Yeah, I agree 100%. And if we go on to me and talk about Belgium, they've got an Icelandic manager. So there we go. Nice little segue there. That is Elisabeth Gunnarsdottir.
One of the people linked with the Chelsea job as well.
Yes. And only appointed in January to this Belgian side as well. So looking, when I was going back to Belgium's previous history and where they've been coming from, because Belgium, again, it's not a team that we hear a lot about, is it? And it's only when they come up against England, you start spotting names. And I've put them probably joint with Italy in terms of like their highs and lows with their results. They got beaten by France 5-0 very, very recently, I think the other day. But they've got some really underrated talent, again, like we've been saying all pod. But their road to victory certainly hasn't been easy. And it's only recent years they've finally got some investment coming through and they've started impressing. They qualified for the Euros for the first time in 2017. And in 2022, our last Euros, of course, Belgium got out of the group stages for the first time ever. Okay, so they will be hoping to at least equal that record there, and then got knocked out by a slim 1-0 defeat to Sweden. So it was just there to knock them out. Wasn't much in it. And yeah, so with Gunnarsdottir coming in at the helm, she's had a chance to settle in, see who our best players are, and to try and get as far as they can. WSL fans, of course, will recognise names like Janice Kamen, Justine van Havermaet, sorry, Chloe, Amber Tisniak, and Sari Keys as well. But of course, the big name everyone is talking about is Tessa Vollaert as well. Belgium's top goal scorer, recently scoring a brace against England in their 3-2 win in the Nations League. But she's not the only threat. You've got huge names like Eleanor Dont, Davina Filchins, Cassandra Missipo as well, the young midfielder, and they can all proven to make a difference. It's just whether or not Belgium take their chances and they're able to make it work. We saw recently in the Nations League, England completely walk over them and their 5-0 win. And then when it was reversed, Tessa Vollaert came back. She was missing in that first game. And then, of course, Belgium really, really went for it. So it just shows you, are they too reliant on key players? Probably. But you know what? If everything comes together, as cliche as it sounds, I think they've got a chance to battle it. But I think it will be tight between them and Italy for that second place. Sorry, Portugal. But of course, Nikki Everard in goal as well. I don't think we can not talk about her. Saved several penalties in the last Euros to get them out of the group, and has just been a consistently good goalkeeper for them in recent matches. So again, they've got a chance. But I just can't. I genuinely can't call it between those other three. I think, like I said, Belgium and Italy have got more of a chance to fight it out for second. But they're so tight and they're so inconsistent, all three of them, which has been really hard to do my predictions. Matthew there, though, Vollaert having a great season with Inter Milan, yes. And with Van Havermaet, we've seen what she can do from set pieces with her head specifically. And so they've got...
Just rub it in, why don't you?
It's not my fault.
We've got to talk about Denmark and the home guards as well. You get to talk about Denmark and the home guards, so that'll be...
Yeah, Chloe, do you just want to take a second for Justine van Havermaet? For those of you who don't know, she is departing Everton at the end of her contract. And it's really sad.
It is really sad. What are we going to do without her head?
Chloe's never going to go to Carpet World again now. It's just she can't be having it. Just like, shopkeeper. You know the rest.
Yeah. I don't know who Rosie's cheering for.
Up the England.
Up the England. Does anyone say that?
Up the England.
Up the England. You have to do it.
Up the England.
Up the England.
I was going to say, Rosie's been cheering for Chelsea for so long. And with that being the shout, it's like, can I just substitute England into it? Does that work?
Up the Eng.
Up the Eng. Up the Engs. No, we're not going there. Right, okay.
I say
I say it.
Can anyone else hear Rosie's voice say that? Just I say it.
Yeah, with like a threatening look in her eyes. That's it. And what?
I still can't wait till we get Rosie at the Euros and we get her in fan walks.
I'm offended. I am the coolest kid. Specifically because I have a fan in front of me. So I am the coolest out of this group right now. How dare you? But yeah, I was going to say where were we, but probably weren't on a point, were we? But yeah, we were Justine van Havermaet. We're having a moment for her. But yeah, very, very sad times indeed. I'd win, Matthew. So it wouldn't be much of a battle, but we could.
Can I just point out, by the way, while we were planning this podcast, Freya was very insistent that we didn't go till 1 a.m. and she told me that we'd lost for ages, and she's the one calling out Rosie in roast battles and all sorts.
Wasn't there a 5-minute timer on each?
There was a 5-minute time limit. There we go. There's
the window ages ago, and it wasn't me that started it. So there we go.
Germany.
Rosie is, of course, our roving reporter in Switzerland.
Cheers.
She doesn't know it yet. Oh, that was cool.
That's harsh.
Can you unban her now? Because she's going to you're going to have to go into like the group chat and go, Rosie, I've unbanned you. Sorry, that was for comedic purposes.
No, I've just put her in a timeout. It's fine. I haven't banned her completely. She's just in a timeout. So she can think about what she's done. So
she can still see what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. I have nothing to do with this, Rosie. I'm.
The views of Freya are not
representative
of the rest.
She may be the host, but she is not representative of the views of the team as a whole. Rosie just got sent to the loft.
Right. There we go. So that was Belgium. So if they can get it together, they can go toe-to-toe with Italy for that second group. Right then, back to Group C. Chloe, where are you going to go next? Denmark.
Shall we just get the pain out of the way and go Denmark?
Yeah, we'll get it out of the way. Go on then.
And there we go. That's the for Danes everywhere. Chloe's view of your team.
No, to be fair, Denmark have a very good record in this competition. They were in the group stage in 2022 in the Women's World Cup. They got to round of 16, and they were runners-up in Group 3 in 2024, and then Group A4 they came third place. They have qualified for all 8 tournaments since the introduction of a group stage. And their qualifying record, they finished in Group A2 as runners-up. They reached their first major final at the 2017 Euros, losing 4-2 to the hosts, the Netherlands, and unfortunately fell short in 2022 of the group stage to a loss against Spain. But when they got to the World Cup, it was the first time since 1995 they'd made it into a knockout stage. So that's pretty exciting for them. They've got some good players. They obviously have Pernilla Harder, who was formerly at Chelsea, their captain, now at Bayern Munich. They've got Catherine Kuhl, who we'll know from Arsenal and Everton. The Homegaard twins, who have since been split up.
The angry.
You can't split twins up. I'm sorry. I feel like that's just rude.
No,
that's just mean.
Just end up with sister, don't you? And then it all goes to pot.
Sister.
We've got Karen Homegaard, like we've kept her, but Sarah Homegaard has been announced today that she's signed for Real Madrid. To be fair, I'm somewhat alright about it because it just shows what a good player she is getting to go to Madrid. But on another level, I'm just still absolutely heartbroken that we've lost Sarah because she's been absolute key.
But which one is your favourite twin, Chloe?
Who's my favourite twin? I can't pick a twin.
Would you have kept Sarah?
Do that? Mean. You can't. Just splitting up the twins just feels wrong.
So put your Kermit hood. Do it.
Really upset.
So with Denmark, then looking at that group, what do you think their chances are, Chloe?
Oh, it's a tough one, innit? But they've also, but Denmark also have a surprise. Not a surprise player. Sounds like you're at a concert. That surprise player. They've got a shock player in adding Nadia Nadim in. Like she's been out for a long time, and I didn't think she'd make it, but here we are.
Here we are, indeed.
I don't think they'll make it out of the group. Ooh, big words. Because I just think that Germany and Sweden kind of have it more. Like, I don't know. It's tough. It's so tough. This is why I hate predicting things. I just never know.
So have they? Okay, so they've got a chance, but probably not as big a chance as Germany and Sweden.
Yeah, they could do it if. The only one I'm writing out is Poland. Sorry, Poland. Watch Poland actually qualify now.
Does it Poland top of the group, and we're all like, oh.
You've got to watch the Danish squad there. Apparently, they're a bit tasty. They got a Hasbro. That was a squad joke. That was a Josephina Hasbro joke. I was proud of that, and it just went clang, didn't it?
Went Kang.
Went clang. As unwelcome as Michelle Kang on a pitch.
It's all gone Pete Kang, hasn't it? It's not going on. Graham says, I reckon they've got a 25% chance. I agree indeed. Oh, perfect. Right. Okay, back to group. I don't know why I took that off. Back to group D then, please, Paul. You go Netherlands next?
We'll go to the Netherlands next, yes.
Okay.
Because I need to work up to shouting about England. Because Freya bravely gave me England to talk about. Yes, under Andriy Jonker, and announced their final squad just a couple of days ago, actually. And no massive surprises. Obviously, many familiar names with the amount of Dutch players that play in the WSL. Daphne van Domselaar will once again be their starting goalie, most likely.
Yeah.
Although now everybody knows about her. Of course, long-time viewers of women's football will recall that her breakout tournament was the last Women's Euros, probably.
It was.
And then you have Lisa Kopp, who is Spurs goalie, but don't hold that against her. One of the most capped players in world women's football, full stop, Sherida Spitzer, who is captain of the Dutch team and will be gaining at least her 244th, 245th, and 246th caps for her country, assuming she starts all three group games. And it is actually, when you look at the number of caps, it's vastly experienced because you have obviously Sherida Spitzer, and then you have the relative newbies of Dominique Janssen with a mere 124 caps for her country. And of course, brand new Kang Army recruit, Danielle van der Donk, who moved from one Michelle Kang team to another in a not at all suspicious transfer.
No, not so.
With a mere 167 caps. Jill Ward as well, who is still listed on the squad list, amusingly, as playing for Manchester City, but has gone back home to FC Twente. And interestingly, has spoken about the reason she left Manchester City was because she lost her love for football and wanted to go home to find it again, which is another indictment of Gareth Taylor, let's be honest. Who has been linked with being new Liverpool manager? Sorry, Emily.
Really?
Apparently. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, first.
How the tables have turned. Now I'm saying something about Gareth Taylor and having everyone else go, you what? Really?
Nothing will be that moment. Sorry.
I remember that time he didn't know it was sacked.
Yeah, that time.
Absolutely incredible.
Brilliant.
And Veerle Boerman as well, who will be playing for Chelsea. And then you go forward, Victoria Palova for Arsenal, Vicky Captain for Chelsea.
Yes.
And then you get to the properly well-known names, if you like. So, I do apologise. We need to mention pod favourite and all-round awesome human being Kirsten Kaspari as well,
Yes.
who
What a go.
will be probably starting at fullback for the Dutch. And probably, again, actually, her breakout tournament was probably the last Euros. So their defence is interestingly young, apart from Sharida Spitzer. Most of it is in its early to mid-20s. The oldest defender, apart from Sharida Spitzer, is Ilse van der Zanden, who is 29, and all the rest around about in their 20s. And then midfield, you've got all the names that we know from the WSL. Viewers of the WSL from the past few seasons will remember Jackie Groenen, who was criminally mistreated by Mark Skinner. There you go. There's the Mark Skinner reference, 1 hour, 40 minutes in, as a former Manchester United player, and was badly treated there. And then we move to the names of forwards, and you have names like Katja Snoich, who Chloe will be very familiar with.
That's nice.
Who is a very good, underrated forward.
Yeah.
Obviously, Viv Miedema,
Yes.
Esme Brooks, who is listed as forward for the Dutch but plays as wing back for Barcelona. So classic Rachel Daly fashion. Aston Villa's own Chastity Grant as well. So lots of very familiar names. But the name I picked out as key to the Dutch team is none of those. In my classic contrary fashion, it is the Dutch battering ram that is Lineth Beerenstein,
Yes.
who
Has to be.
we love a classic centre forward. We love a classic old school battering ram of a centre forward. And Linus Beerenstein very much is. And she's been on something of a scoring run yesterday. Every time you watch the Dutch in the Nations League and you see them score crucial goals, it isn't Miedema now. Because she, for the Dutch, plays very much as a creative role off Linus Beerenstein. And Beerenstein is the spearhead. She is 28 years old. She's another Centurion in caps with 114, only 10 behind Miedema, and a mere 45 goals behind her internationally. So could easily catch that one up. Born within a couple of months. Plays for Wolfsburg. But it isn't about, but like we say, it isn't about the goals for her. That isn't what her real value to the Dutch team is. She is the spearhead. Every team needs a focal point, particularly with a lot of teams playing, one number 9 up front and then this weird combined winger forward thing that they do now. I sound like one of those old people. Those young people nowadays. I remember when wingers were wingers and strikers were strikers and wide forwards. What is that bollocks anyway? But no. Beerenstein is very much the spearhead, and Nancy agrees. There she is.
Hey.
Turned up just in time, and she is, in my opinion, the player by which the Dutch will kind of function, because she holds the ball up and brings the likes of Miedema, Jill Roord, Jackie Groenen, all of those players into play. And where she goes, the Dutch will go. And that is a Nancy endorsed opinion.
And Zish got some very strong opinions indeed. So if we look at it as a whole, then
Skinner's name was mentioned. Nancy's just on there.
Picture was there. Do you reckon Netherlands are going to be up there fighting for those top spots then, Paul?
I think if you were talking about teams who I expect the group to run, it should be England and then followed by the France or the Netherlands. Of those two, though, I think the Netherlands are more likely to finish ahead of France.
Okay.
So if the group goes as we expect, in the sense that it is England, Netherlands, and France obviously fighting for the 3 from 2 for them, I think the Netherlands are more likely to go through than France.
Oh, yeah.
And I do worry that they could, if France have a good tournament, Netherlands could also ease England out.
it's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tight at the top. And hey, it's a group of death for a reason. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Right, Danny, back to Group A then. Final team, final stop on your cruise. Finland.
Finland.
Tell us about Finland. Fantastic.
It's not finished. It's 28. Finland, yeah,
The
qualified.
country I want to be. Pony trekking or camping.
Finland qualified via the playoffs, beat Montenegro 6-0 over 2 legs. And then they beat Scotland over 2 legs. They drew 0-0 and then won 2-0. They've had a pretty good qualifying campaign, but then it was followed by a bit of a disappointing run in the Nations League. Finished second behind Serbia in that. I think they drew with them quite recently to mean that they finished second. Had quite a few injuries over the last few months as well, which has been difficult for them, especially in the build-up to the competition. You want to have all of your players firing, all your players fit, but their players been in and out with injury. So it's been a difficult build-up as such, but they're starting to get players back now a little bit. I'll come on to the main one of those in a minute. But some recognisable names that they've got in there. Natalia Kuika. She's quicker than anyone in the entire team. Apologies. Sorry. Emma Koivisto and Letola will be the fullbacks. We think they're going to bomb forward at every opportunity. They like to get their fullbacks forward a fair bit. We've got twins. We talked about twins earlier. We've got Emmy Siran and Una Siran, West Ham for Una, Nordsjælland for Emmy. So they have been split up, or they are split up already. But proving it can work. So don't worry, Chloe, it can work with twins being split up. Evelina Samanen, Ria Erling, obviously we know about. Who has Linda Solstrom as well, all-time leading scorer for Finland. But the one that I want to pick out that is a pod favourite, of course, and she's made it. Juuso Rantala. She has made it to the squad. She's been, I mean, they've been in an hour on whether she's going to be fit. I think she's missed the last couple of qualifiers or Nations League games, but she's back in the squad. She's apparently ready to go. The manager was saying this week that she is fully fit. She's ready to go, which is what we want to see. She can be a game changer for them. Give her the ball. She can create something out of absolutely nothing. And I think she's going to be the difference between them getting points and not, if she's fully fit. And that's where the questions come in for Finland, I think, is whether their squad's going to be up to it, because they're heavily reliant on one or two key players, and Rantala is one of them. And I'm just not sure whether they're going to be ready properly in time to compete in this group, which is a really, really difficult group. I'd love to see Finland and Iceland go through, but I just can't see it for Finland this time, with the amount of injuries they've had, with the little bit of a dip in recent form as well. It's going to be very difficult for them. I sadly can't see them getting through.
And
Finn.
not
They may finish a poor second to Belgium when going abroad. See, I'm getting all the lines in.
you already. Okay, so as a conclusion to Group A, then, so Danny, what are you thinking qualification-wise? Who's going to get out of the group, and what do you think? First, second,
I want Iceland and Finland. I think it's going to be Norway first, and I'm going for. I think it's going to be Iceland. I think Iceland are going to sneak through.
Ooh.
I think they're going to frustrate teams, and they're going to nick 1-0 win and get in a couple of other scrappy draws and get through, and they're going to edge out Switzerland and things. So Norway, Iceland, I'll go for.
Norway, Iceland. I like it. Very good indeed. And now on to my final team, which has been driving me crazy, because Italy only released their final squad today, and not even this morning at 4:00 this afternoon. They finally released it. So all of my notes are like, if this person gets picked. So now I've had to quickly redo it. But essentially, Italy overall, it's the inconsistency. And if they get it right, if Sonchin gets it right this time, there's so much talent and so much potential. Why not? Why can't this be the time? They've been drawn in a group against Belgium again, and Italy will be looking to change how it went last time out in the Euros. So in recent years, in the 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't a great a great time to be in Italy for professional women's football. They qualified for their first World Cup in over 20 years in 2018. Okay, so over the last 7 years-ish, it is getting much better. But they were doing well up to a point, and then the last Euros hit, and they absolutely bombed it. They only got 1 point in the group stages and finished bottom of Group D. So that key issue has been that unpredictability, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, it makes it harder for teams to plan against, but then it's also very hard to then predict where they're going to come out, which is why it's been so hard thinking about who's gonna make it through. And like I said, you look at the names in the squad, and they could achieve so much more. So, as I mentioned, the squad finally came out today. It was a weird one. So Sunshin announced a 35-player training squad. 35, okay, and then he had to whittle that down to, of course, 23, which is bizarre. You'd think by that point you know exactly who you're going to take with you. So let's just get it up so I don't make sure I don't miss anyone. In defense, you've got names like Boateng, Linari. Really pleased for Oliviera as well. She's had a really, really good season at Lazio. In midfield, you've got Ariana Caruso, of course, a huge name there. She that is their current highest scoring midfielder. You've got Manuela Giuliano in there. You've got Giada Greggi is finally getting a shot, the youngster. You've also got Eleonora Goldoni as well. And there's an Italian journalist called Mauro Muno who I follow, and he always seems to have all the inside information. And he said there's going to be a surprise in this squad, and it was Goldoni. A couple of people are questioning why she's been called up, but she's had a decent season, and I wouldn't say necessarily, standout star that maybe you would include, but if Sonshin's seen something in her, why not bring her in, give her a go, give her some minutes. You've also got Emma Severini as well. Great to see her in there. And then up front, you may have noticed a little shirt that I've got hanging with me. And everyone who watches the podcast will know how much I love Martina Piemonte. And I wasn't sure whether she'd get in or not, because in the national team, and as we saw with Everton as well, there was just something not there. She had the talent, she had the potential, but nothing was quite clicking. And that's been one of the key things. In Serie A this season, she was the second top goal scorer. She scored 17 goals this season. So this squad that Sunshin has released is very fair. I've had a kind of look across the internet. I've talked to some people about it, and they said, you know what, based on current performance, that's the right squad that is chosen. So really, really proud that she's made it. So congratulations to her. There's also Sofia Cantore, can't forget about her. Just moved to the NWSL, first Italian to sign. You've got Cristiana Girelli as well, absolute icon. 35, still one of the strongest performers in the national team. But a name that hasn't been included is Giacinti. And she is a name who I think most people who kind of know a bit about Italian football will recognise. But she hasn't been performing lately. So it was always a question of whether Sonshin would take the names rather than current form. But luckily he's gone for that current form and that potential. Who else? Oh, there's also Eva Schatzer as well, uncapped 20-year-old midfielder for Juventus. She's been given the go-ahead as well. So there's so much talent. It's just, can they work together? And can they do it? I mean, Matthew's saying there, Girelli and Piemonte, yes, absolutely. Coach Criminal saying there, they're an enigma because most of their players play in Serie A. Watch Serie A. They don't have to be an enigma. It's right there. I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, there are some really good players in that squad. It's just can they get the tactics right? I mentioned training players as well. So Bergamaschi, Gali, who we know from Everton, of course, Gilardi and Rasucci are all travelling as part of that squad, just in case of injury, as stated in the rules. So if people aren't sure, most squads have brought training players with them that they can still sub in if there's any injuries, but it has to be before the start of the tournament. They can't do it once the tournament has started. So Italy have got so much potential. So I might go Spain, Italy, Belgium, Portugal. I think that's going to be my final order. Spain, Italy, Belgium, Portugal for Group B.
No chance that you think Spain do a France at Men's World Cup and just don't turn up because they think they're through.
For the tournament, it would be incredible if like Italy and Belgium got through, and then Spain got knocked out. But I just think Spain, a bit like Chelsea, annoyingly, have got a habit of just finding that win, regardless. I think it's going to take, I think it's going to take a lot to throw them off and frustrate them. And we know it's possible. We know it can be done. Of course it can. But I just don't think they're the teams to do it. I think if it's going to happen, it's going to be at the next stages.
I think Paul's point earlier about France and Netherlands and England having to almost it being a good thing to start off with a big name game kind of thing, or big games to come apart. With Spain, they can probably ease through that group. The time where they might get into trouble is coming up against a big nation in the quarterfinals, where they haven't really been at full power. They might take some time to catch up, but that's probably the biggest chance to catch them out. I can't see them go. I mean, there's 9 points from 9 in that group, surely, for Spain.
I think they've got a bit lucky because even their quarterfinal will be against
Group A's runner-up, won't it, if they finish the group? Yeah.
So assuming they finish the group, it'll be based on the way you're looking at it. It'll be Iceland versus Spain, which will be.
I mean, that could be entertaining though if Iceland are going to play the way that I expect them to play. Iceland just
knock them off the game.
Park the polar bears. Is there polar bears in Iceland? I don't know. There's snow.
They're on out for the analogy.
I do think that Spain. And I said this last time, and everyone was like, "Oh, Spain are going to win." I'm like, Spain are not going to get past quarterfinals. And I was very worried when it was 1-1, and then Georgia Stanway did her thing in the Euros quarterfinals. But I think Spain are coming into the tournament too arrogantly.
Yeah, I think maybe if they get a bit complacent in the group, they might get a shock as soon as they get through. So it'll be how seriously they take the group stage, really, won't it?
I think they'll do because most of them are the Barcelona team, and I think there will be residual mental hangovers from losing that game. And I think if they start to see games going that way for Spain as well, if a team like Iceland or even a team like Italy or Belgium just gets amongst them, puts it in the mixer, kicks them up in the air in midfield, doesn't let them play, then it'll get interesting.
Really, really makes it hard, and Matthew's right there. It's how comfortable they qualify from the group. Italy and Belgium can make it hard for them. Yep, agreed. Spain will be judged on how they cope with these challenges. And Tony's saying there, what if Iceland do what Japan did in the World Cup? Had like 20% possession, but then won. What was it, 5-2 or something?
That would be lovely.
And I mean, hey, I'm here for it. We will be here for every single moment of that.
It's 4-0.
Well, it's similar to 5-2. That's fine. Thank you, Tony. So Spain, Italy, Belgium, Portugal. Maybe. Right then, Chloe, your final country, please. Talk to us about the home of IKEA, Sweden.
Yes, I would like to go to Sweden, please, and to the ABBA Museum.
Yes. In fact, this is Malmo calling.
Love.
You've got to hope that the winner takes it all.
Very good.
It would just make everything Eurovision. Like, that would just make life so much better for just Eurovision. everything.
Sweden would win a lot more major tournaments if it was Eurovision.
If
If football was
Pietra
Eurovision.
Meder hosted everything, then that would make life a lot better.
Iconic.
I absolutely love her to do that.
Hey,
However, the
we
football team.
Hey, we let Australia in Eurovision. We should let them in the Euros as well.
Well, according to that very famous screen grab that's going around social media at the minute, why are the Matildas never in the Euros? Well,
we let them in Eurovision. We should let them.
Yeah, I think Eurovision has ruined people's concept of geography.
It's ruined people's concepts of a lot of things. Eurovision has.
Well,
Yes, it's very true.
Oh, live, laugh, Eurovision. Anyways,
that's a t-shirt.
I'll get it for I'll get it for Austria next year.
Yeah.
Sweden. So Sweden's best result at the tournament was in 1984 when they won it.
That's a good result. So
just had to get it in there.
yeah, sorry.
In the 2022 Euros, they got to the semi-finals. They were third place at the Women's World Cup. Let's never forget that penalty save.
How did they do at the last Euros?
Semi-finals.
Did they lose too? Sorry, Tony. Just getting that one in there.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep...
Please.
Bear in mind, Paul, before you go too far, the winners of our group and the runners-up of our group match up with this group. So just to calm the before
quarterfinal lost to Sweden incoming now.
Yes. Back to it. So the captain of Sweden is Kosovo Alessini, who obviously plays at London City Lionesses. Big signing for them. We were all shocked when we read that last year. This marks her 5th Euros and her 8th major tournament for Sweden, which is quite impressive. And the way they qualified and got to this position is they beat France and England in the qualifying group, and then in the playoffs they won 12-0 over Luxembourg and 8-0 over Serbia. Just
fine margins.
Just very it could go either way.
Worst losses in football, worst leads in football.
There's also a little bit of extra pressure for Sweden to live for trophy again, as their head coach Peter Godson has been in charge since 2017. He's stepping down out of the tournament, so they'll probably want to go and win this for him. To be fair, they've got quite a few names that WSL fans will recognise. They've got Natalie Bjorn and Hannah Benison, formerly of Everton, now at Chelsea and Juventus. Just had to get that in there. They've got Amanda Ilestedt, who has recently just left Arsenal. They've got Lena Hurtig, got that one in Freya. Philippa Angodal, who was at Man City. They've got Johanna Ritten-Kinyard, obviously at Chelsea. They've got some good names, but one of the players to watch is San Diego Waves' Hannah Lundqvist. She is only 22 years old, but she's played in 3 different leagues across the world. She's played at Hammarby, Atletico Madrid, and is now at the Wave. She is a extremely capable fullback and has so much skill and got a huge energy for Sweden, and I think she could be one of the players to watch. If you've not seen her play for the Wave, go watch her play because she's really, really good. So they also got our wonderful Emma Stina Blackstenius, who could also prove to be a threat and a big goal scorer because we've seen what she can do for Arsenal. So can she capitalise and do the same for Sweden? Who knows?
If she's onside.
I know I'm bad at. I can't pronounce names.
That AVAR is
I'm
going to be in
sorry.
action quite a lot.
I can't do it.
Yes.
AVR is going to be sitting there going, she's offside, she's offside. Oh, she's onside. Oh,
I love how Tony did point out if Steena's on form, then we've got a
Yeah.
good chance.
Just a huge if in front of it. Yeah, Tony, why don't you put in the chat phonetically, just so everyone knows? So of course we've got Aslani, Ilstedt. Who else was it?
I've apologized for this on multiple pods. There's probably a compilation already of me apologizing because I can't say names. Like I've apologized for this multiple times, and I'm sorry.
But you gave it a go. You gave it your best shot, and that's why Tony's going to put them phonetically in the chat, so we can all have practice and we can all have a go.
This is teachable.
Yes,
that's
our resident.
I'm going to attempt to get this one right phonetically because one of the big players who may be missing is Fridolina Rolfer, which apparently is how it's pronounced. Yep. Because they have put Matilda Vimberry on standby of Spurs to come in if Rolfer is not going to play.
Because Barcelona are not happy, are they?
Barcelona are not impressed at all at all of that sort of thing. But Barcelona are usually moaning about something.
Yeah, reports are she's Rolfer should be fit-ish to go, but Barcelona.
You're fittish, but my God, don't you just know it?
Fittish. Isn't a fetish an unhealthy interest in it? No. Anyway.
Quick tea.
have a Fridolina fetish.
Okay, so can I read?
There we go.
Yeah.
Can I read?
Yeah. But that's the thing, we're introducing new players, new countries, new languages, and we try our best, especially when English is such an amalgamation of so many different languages. Then we're here to try. And if people know the correct pronunciations, absolutely right, tell us, and then we'll know for the future. And
I'm probably going to get this one wrong. I am looking forward to seeing if Ellen Vangerheim gets any game time in the Euros because she is supposedly one of the exciting young Swedish forwards. Sat down there at the bottom of the Swedish squad, 20 years old. And she is one of those things who hipsters in the know, if you like, have said, oh, watch out for her. So it will be interesting to see if she actually gets any time at all or whether she has kind of a Michelle Aguiman situation where she gets loads of hype and then doesn't get a single minute, which I hope isn't the case for England, incidentally.
Well, Tony says, it might be like 75th minute sub. It might make an impact that way. Because I was looking through, obviously, the caps for all these different players, and some of them have, like we said, like 200 caps, 150, and then you've got the ones that are like 6, 13, and you're like, is this, an opportunity to get these players in, these fringe players, and really, give them time, give them minutes, and prove what they can do, because they've been picked for a reason. So why not give them a chance to...
And of course, you have Linda Sembrant, who's 38 years old, 156 caps. So has been around forever with Sweden. So...
yeah, some massive names in there. And I just want to say, on the topic of Lena Hurtig, the fact that she's then made that move, she's gone to Fiorentina, she's played some of her best football in Italy, now she's gone back to Serie A, and the fact that she's then being called up for that Swedish side, I just think like good things are happening now. When players go to clubs, it doesn't work out. It doesn't mean they're a bad player. It doesn't mean it's a bad club. It just means that relationship hasn't gone right. And if she can then settle now and have another resurgence, that's going to be fantastic to watch as well.
Another interesting one is Jennifer Falk, because she has spent most of her career seemingly a Swedish understudy because of Hedvig Lindahl doing Hedvig Lindahl things.
Yeah.
Up to and including the last Euros, which I believe was Lindahl's swan song. I don't think she played since then. I think she kind of stepped down and retired.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember there was a bit of a thing in the media with Lindor, wasn't there? Can't quite remember what it was now, but yeah. So she has stepped back, and so it's going to be interesting. So Chloe, if you had to do your final ranking then of Group C, what do you think? Who's going to make the final?
I think topping the group will be Germany and Sweden.
Germany and Sweden.
I think it might be close between Sweden and Denmark. I think it might just be like a point or something separating them.
Okay. Yeah, so Germany and Sweden. Very good. Very good indeed. Tony, don't take that away from me. They got a few minutes to the manager's favourite. All right. But we see that with every country, don't we? And especially we're going to talk about next Paul.
Don't set me up. Don't give me open goals like that, honestly.
Right. So it's 1:45 now. We did say 5 minutes. However, as we've been, whinging on a bit quite a while, we'll see. We'll just see.
I will say it's England as well, which is kind of the one that...
Yeah. England, the best till last. Paul's been revving up for this all pod.
Let's go make a cup of tea. I'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone go get a drink, get some popcorn, have a nap. Yeah, settle down. Get a blanket, settle right in.
Do that in this weather.
That's true. A cool blanket.
So here we go then. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the current European champions.
Come on.
Oh,
the Lionesses of England. You may have heard about that. We may have mentioned it at some point in the past couple of years, Tony.
Don't antagonize him.
He did say this is why the rest of Europe wants England to get grouped. So,
well, this is where we talk about Love Island's Georgia Russo's sister, right?
Who is likely to spend in the longer time in the competition this summer than she is, because this England team is an interesting one. And let's start with the big elephants in net, shall we? Or the lack of elephant in net, as it were. Mary Earps walking out somewhat controversially a few weeks ago. And depending on who you ask, it had either been planned for 12 or 18 months, or it completely blindsided Serena Wiegman. And we talked
one or the other. They're very similar stories. Yeah, very similar.
And I lean more to that it blindsided Serena Wiegman's story, and then there was desperate PR management because it's Mary Earps and thou shalt not criticise Mary, Queen of Strops. And I was quite proud of that one. There we go. Obviously, as well, Frank Kirby has stepped back in a far classier and nicer fashion than her goalkeeping teammate, because Frank Kirby is elegant both on and off the pitch. I wonder if Chloe's still watching, because this is just praising Fran for her. And of course, Millie Bright will be missing at the back, which is disastrous for England, because not only does it mean that their best centre back is missing, but also their emergency centre forward.
Great point. Never thought of that.
Exactly. Who are they going to send up top now in the dying moments of the match?
You can't see Leah Williamson or Alex Greenwood winning a crucial header in the penalty area, can you? Really?
Hey, my Letitia might come on. You don't know.
Oh God.
That's how Paul feels about that.
So, obviously, those are the big things. So the starting goalie will be Chelsea's Hannah Hampton, and deserves to be starting goalie.
Yeah.
Joint Golden Glove winner, along with Fallon Tullis-Joyce of Manchester United, who unfortunately for England is American, and so is ineligible. But just clarifying that for anybody who may think things like Australia should be in the Euros. Moving forward, there haven't really been any surprises in the squad, and that is because Serena Wiegman has her favourites and will pick players like Esme Morgan.
No, she doesn't.
Actual defenders. Pleasingly, Aggie Beaver-Jones has made it into the squad and might actually have a chance of playing after getting 4 goals in 7 caps for England so far, which is a strike rate of roughly double Alicia Russo. And then in defence, of course, you have all the old stager names. You have Lucy Bronze, Leah Williamson as captain, and Kira Walsh sitting just in front of them. Niamh Charles, interestingly, has been given squad number 3, which may mean that Serena Wiegman, lacking a forward to play at left back, has decided to play a left back at left back.
What?
Which I know is revolutionary.
Oh.
But is working its way through. Did I pronounce her Alicia Russo?
You did, but we just went with it.
I thought I'd say more of Alessia. But either way.
I think it's
know.
more about Alessia.
Alessia.
Thank you.
Alessia than Aggie Beaver-Jones. But the rest of the squad, you know, the names, what more can you say about them? They're very predictable. Lauren James, although there is some question mark over whether she'll be fully fit. Georgia Stanway, who is a number 10 who gets shoehorned into playing number 8. And then Beth Mead wearing the number 9 shirt, which hilariously caused all manner of confusion among people who you could tell had only come into women's football post-Euros because they were really confused as to why Leslie Russo was wearing number 23. I have a theory that it's superstition at this point because she's worn it obviously for Manchester United and for Arsenal and for England last time round. So I think she's probably requested that one. But she will be the number 9, playing up front most likely, although there is genuine discussion over whether Aggie Beaver-Jones or even Michelle Aguiman could force their way into that position.
Yeah.
Ella Toone has been given the number 10, which means that Grace Clinton isn't going to be in the starting lineup. We can safely assume, because you can't put them both in the same team. And so I do wonder whether we'll have a situation where, like you have Serena's super subs, and this year it's Ella Toone starts and Grace Clinton comes on after 60 minutes in that number 10 position. I can see that kind of being the case. Lauren James wearing number 7 is a weird one because I can't see her playing on the... Does she play on the right side for Chelsea? Have I imagined her playing more on the left side or number 10 for Chelsea?
I think she plays where she wants, to be honest.
I feel like number 7 is a bit of one of those numbers you want as well, isn't it? If you're a bit of a maverick or whatever.
Yeah.
People will have their favourite numbers and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that I hope that Wiegman will try and follow a similar, have a starting group and then a finishing group. It's just a question of who she picks for it. Because I, as all of us, I think, agree, really want to see Michelle Aguiman get some minutes.
Yes, 100%.
The question of that is whether she comes on for Lauren Hemp after, say, 65 minutes, or whether she comes on for Leslie Russo as a striker.
Yeah, where she does fit.
And I would probably say it depends how the games are going in that sense.
Yeah.
If we're sailing through against Wales and we've got 9 points out of 9, we're winning 3-0, that's when you maybe start to see her a little bit more experimental. But she's not going to experiment if we're fighting for things, is she? Unfortunately for Michelle. I think Aggie's probably more the one that will be the super sub almost, or the one that's going to come on and make a difference.
I'd start her.
I'd love to see her start. I just don't think she will.
Oh.
I can't see it.
I think at international levels,
she deserves to be based on the season and based on the performances. But
I think at international level, particularly with England's wingers who love to get down the side and just fire it across the middle, not necessarily on the ground as well, but in the air as well. I would love to see Aggie Beaver-Jones on the end of a few of those. With all due respect to Russo, Aggie Beaver-Jones on the end of those. I think we'll start seeing her breakout tournament.
Yeah. Do you reckon there'd ever be a front two?
It would.
Beaver Jones?
The Aggies as a front two.
Yeah.
Actually,
Aggie squad. Yes.
I think that, I don't know, because Serena Wiegman won't ever play a front two, will she?
No,
You know, unfortunately, we're not in Mike Bassett territory here. You know, she doesn't believe in 4-4 flipping 2. But
4-4 flipping 2.
And then, of course, you have names like Chloe Kelly, Jess Park as well, who can come in. Jess Carter is a very, very good pick as a kind of utility defender because she can play left back or centre back.
Yeah.
But of all those names, having talked all about them, you could easily pick Russo, Hemp, Kelly, all the names from the last Euros. I picked Alex Greenwood because someone needs to step into that Millie Bright leader of the defence position.
Yeah.
And I don't have confidence in Leah Williamson to do that anymore after the past few seasons. Because she has looked, for all Arsenal winning the Champions League, Leah Williamson has looked mortal this season. And I worry that particularly in that group up against, the likes of Katoto, Diani, Miedemar, even Elise Hughes, who loves to bully opposition centre-backs. And we saw how Williamson was bullied by Myra Ramirez against Chelsea.
Yeah. Could be. And we saw as well when there was the incident in the friendly of Leah getting pulled to the ground and Alex Greenwood stepping up to like, calm yourself, like just have a moment, take it. So I think them as a pairing, they work very well together.
Yeah, it's balanced, isn't it?
Really that balance, yeah.
And the fact that she can come out of defence and pick a pass as well is huge.
Oh, and an incredible free kick taker as well.
Yeah.
Definitely most underrated player out of them. So I'm glad you picked out Greenwood. Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't know about you guys, but I'm worried about this England team in that group.
I'm worried about that group.
I'm worried about the group. I'm not. Yeah. Maybe not as worried about the team because I feel like when it gets to these big occasions, they do step up. But the group is terrifying, I think.
Because if we look back to last Euros, and I know it's hard to compare because it is a completely different squad, but you look and you think we took a while to settle in, didn't we, last Euros? And then we really grew into it. And you just think, in that group, we don't have time to grow into it, do we? So we need to come out the gates fighting and so quick. And we can't be complacent at all and think, we've won it before, we're reigning champions, it'll be fine. I just think we need to go in almost believing that they're underdogs to fight for it and to really, really go for it.
I worry that there are 3 teams there whose game plan will be stop Kira Walsh playing.
Yes.
And they all have the players to do it because France have Grace Euro to do it. The Netherlands have probably Dominique Janssen, but also they can rotate any one of their attacking midfielders to drop back a bit and just play a mark Kira Walsh. And the Welsh have Sophie Ingle. Sophie Ingle can shut down Kira Walsh. Even we covered Angharad James can do so. Jess Fishlock can be in Kira Walsh's back pocket all game. She'll run all day. And if England don't play through Kira Walsh, they look ordinary. They have a lot of the time.
And it's hard, isn't it? Because you know how much of an impact Kira has in that midfield, but then you don't want to rely on her because you're right. Every other team's going to go and neutralize Kira, and then they don't have a plan B, almost, as we've seen before.
And I also wish that in the Nations League and in the build-up, England had been thumped by Spain and not run them closely in the way they did, because that would have woken a few people up, I think.
Yeah.
I think this is an England team that a lot of it is still harking back to, we'll just do what we did in the last Euros and we know we're that good and we're even better now because the new players have come through. And this Euros team, this is not as good as that Euros team, even though it's the same players, because some of it has less of the hunger in it. and they are all known quantities. The likes of Lauren Hemp are known quantities. Chloe Kelly are known quantities. Kira Walsh is a known quantity to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And we saw that at the World Cup in its way when they struggled against Haiti in the first game, when they struggled against Nigeria, when Spain neutralised them. We won't scapegoat anybody for the loss against Spain, but we will say that Lucy Bronze is now 2 years slower than she was in that World Cup.
Is she though? Have you seen her run lately? Yeah, you're right. We're not going to blame anyone for that. Thank you. But yeah, it's, you hope that the issues that are present have been identified and they've worked around it and they've got this new system. Because as Tony said, where's it gone? Gerardson said, that's our game plan, get Kira out. So it's not as if it's a secret. It's very much, we're going to do that because they always do this. So we need to be creative. We need to be forced to be creative and be able to.
Because the trouble around it is there isn't really a way around it that's really tried, because you can't, when you look at that England squad, you can't move anyone back to play a double pivot and sit alongside Kira, who would be willing, because Stanway is not disciplined enough, in my opinion, to sit back there and do that. She likes to go forward. I'm sounding very downbeat, aren't I? Tony's there thinking, "Oh, this is why I want you to get all grouped. You're all arrogant," and I'm like, "Actually, we're probably a bit shit, and here's what's wrong with England."
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because obviously we're discussing it, and we talked about it at the time when the squad was announced, and Matthew's saying there, how did Nikita Paris not make it? Should have been picked up for Beth Mead. Ella Morris, maybe she could have been our unknown if the unfortunate hadn't happened. You've got other people saying, Williamson shouldn't be in the team. So everyone's got so many opinions about who should be in and who shouldn't be. But at the end of the day, we need to work with what we've got, haven't we? And just see what we can do. And
I still think there's a lot to like about us. I still think that we can analyze it with as much till the cows come home, and we will do. I still think there's a lot to like, and if we're looking at it from someone else's point of view, we're looking at the players, and like we've been doing all night, looking at the players of every squad and saying all these are named this name, this name, this name. If we're looking at the England side, we're thinking that's a dangerous team. I think LJ's a massive dark horse in this in terms of what she can bring. Not an unknown quantity, but in terms of something out of nothing, and we don't know. No one really quite knows how fit she is. The fact that she could just come off the bench and do something, we don't really know how fit she is. She might come in if she's on fire. That's a game changer. Lauren Hemp coming back at this point, fully fit, is an incredible help. I think. Yes. We've been missing her so much. Like the fact that she can get the ball and run and keep the ball, the creativity that she's got. We've got so much attacking talent, and I would think the thing with Kira Walsh is if players are marking about the game, we've got to have that plan B, and maybe it's just lump it forward to Leslie, get Hemp on the ball and keep it up there, and try and use it almost as a thing where we know it's going to happen. We know people are going to be marking.
Can Russo hold the ball up well enough though?
Yes.
She has shown some real strength.
I think she's come on leaps and bounds in that respect the last couple of years.
I agree.
And I think when it comes to the major tournament, we do step up, and I've got a good feeling about it.
Do you think we're too hard on England because it's our team?
I don't think it's a bad thing to be hard on us, because that shows that everyone wants us to do well, and everyone's really kind of starting to have more and more opinions on it, which is great. Everyone's getting involved, and everyone wants to analyze it, which is great. There's a chance that we can become overly critical, but I don't know. It's a difficult one because of how tough the group is.
I hope Wales do us a favour by taking points off either or both of France and the Netherlands. Because that works by keeping them in the competition, giving them a chance, but that also benefits England massively.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
this is the first game, huge, isn't it? If we get something out of France, that's a good step, because then you've got Netherlands and Wales to come. I think that's that's still a reasonable. If we get a point in the first game, it's reasonable.
It's reasonable, but I think we need 3.
We
I
need
would
to.
I would be very.
I heard we need 2. I was like, we can't get 2. It's 1 or 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we need a really positive start. We need something out of that game, absolutely. And I think, you know, if we lose it, then it's going to be incredibly tight for the rest of it.
I am excited as to what we can do. I'm excited of the new players coming in, like Aggie and whatever, to come in and really make statements and become almost the new heroes that we look up to and follow and stuff. So yeah,
I like that.
It's going to be an exciting group.
I think England can get out the group. I am more optimistic than I've been.
So let's have a think, because Matthew put earlier, early prediction: Wales will not finish bottom of Group D. Ooh. So that is Matthew's real prediction. So let's have a look then. So Paul, you were saying England should get out of the group.
I am after spending 10 minutes or so being down on them. I think England and Wales get out that group.
England and Wales.
I think there is legitimate potential for England and Wales to get out of that group, because I think France are your classic very talented team, but can implode, and I don't think the French team, although a lot of the French fans have said this, will realise how important not taking Wendy Renard is until they go to the tournament, and they haven't got that rock to coalesce around who will stand and go, right, I'm taking the rest of you on my back. Even if you're wavering or worried, you can always look back and see this colossus stood at the centre defence.
Yeah, the fact that they haven't taken her is complete, absolutely mind blowing that hasn't happened. Because you need those characters to lead, whether they're on or off the pitch, and to just not have her there is going to be a huge change. And of course, England do have one more friendly this weekend. On Sunday, they're playing against Jamaica in their friendly before they go out. Bit close to the opening game, in my personal opinion.
There's loads of games going on. Everyone's playing, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone's playing that weekend.
Playing.
Not that late.
Yeah.
Because I know it depends. So I know England are only playing the one. I think France and Belgium have played quite a few. So I think obviously depending on the nation, how much they wanted to put into prep for the tournament, of course. But it's a hard one because you want them to be fully fit, but you don't want any chance of injury as well. So fingers crossed it all goes well.
I do think the starting lineup this weekend will be a huge indication as to who starts against France as well.
Ooh,
like a lot of people are saying, oh, you never know, you don't want to show your hand or anything, but Wiebman isn't that type of coach. Wiebman is very much
injuries. Just no injuries, please.
Yeah, please no injuries. Bubble wrap Lauren James.
Yeah.
Don't let her near anyone else.
Spain are playing Japan. And France playing Brazil. So they've got pretty big games.
Ooh, they are. They are indeed. They're
just the way Japan are playing.
Yeah.
France playing Brazil is an interesting pre-tournament friendly because that's two teams who are going to be going for it. Whereas England v Jamaica is kind of seems much more of a pre-tournament friendly because it's let's play a team who will give us a decent test, but we don't on paper have to go 110% against them.
Yeah.
Could try a few things out. Whereas France versus Brazil is, unless they want to really put that new defense under pressure.
Yeah.
And see how it handles it.
Yeah. So Group D then. So Paul said England and Wales get out of the group. Has anyone got any other thoughts? Danny, Chloe, do you think it will be England and Wales, or can anyone else pop the table? Do you think?
I think France, England is my 2.
France,
Yeah,
England.
right. I
Yeah,
think
we
France.
got that one as well. Okay. So you heard it here first, folks. So Group A. So remind us, Danny, did you say Norway and Iceland?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Yes, perfect. Group B, I said Spain and Italy. Group C, we had Germany and Sweden from Chloe. And Group D, mixed bag, England and Wales from Paul. And England and France from the rest of us.
All I'm saying is, if that comes true, I'm buying a lottery ticket next week.
Yes,
Time for the
you need
quarterfinals.
to. You absolutely need to. Now we've got 2 more quick things to do. We do know we've gone over. I didn't even bother saying it's going to be a quick one because I knew it wouldn't be. Now Sam sent me a very cryptic message the other night and said, "I've made a mystery graphic for you, and that I wasn't allowed to look at it until this evening, until I unveiled it. But apparently, one of you know what this is about. So, would that person like to reveal themselves?"
Do we?
Hey,
There we go.
It is me.
So
I am the traitor.
this was
Oh,
all
yeah,
I was
maybe.
allowed to see. Okay, this was it. This was all I had. And Sam said, "Right, you've got to download this, but someone will know what this is." So I haven't clicked on it. I don't know what it is, and we're going to go to the next slide.
We're going to get live reaction.
Yeah, and Danny can talk us through what on earth he's been colluding with our lovely Sam for. So.
Yeah,
Oh, fantastic.
so Sam asked me essentially to define a Thunder Bastard in 3 parts before the tournament, just so that we all aware of what's going on, all aware what a Thundy Bee actually is. So these are the 3 golden rules of the Thundy Bee.
So we've got rule number 1.
Yep, the ball must be struck from outside the box.
Fair.
Standard has to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rule number 2.
Number 2, the ball must come back out of the net.
Ooh.
Have enough power to come out of the net and come back out.
Proper
Next slide,
Thundy
please.
Bee. Let's come back out.
Next slide, please.
Next
And
slide.
rule number 3, the ball must come back out the net at least past the 6-yard box.
Ooh.
So from outside the box, into the net, out the net, past the 6-yard box. That, my friends, is a Thundy Bee.
What if someone gets in the way of it and it comes back out?
That it's not a Thundy Bee. Golden rules. I didn't make them, but I did.
Rules. Oh, I love it.
I am
Absolutely.
genuinely shocked because that has basically killed the Thunder Bastard, in my opinion. We're gonna have how many of those are we
How
gonna get
many
a
do we
year?
think we're going to get?
A sensible 74.
Drag race. That's gonna see. I like that in a sense because that's gonna really sort out the ones that we think are Thundy Bees with the true.
Can I just point out that I love the fact that the reaction from people in the chat is the same as me. It's all just, oh, that's brutal. That is.
Ooh. Brutal that. I love
I'm
it.
going to go 5 in the tournament.
5 in the
One of them from Lauren James. That's my
Ooh,
prediction.
good shout. I'm going to go 4 and 1 from Michelle Adjuman.
Ooh.
I can see her just straight.
I don't think the Michelle
Valentine
Edgerang
as
one will count because I think she'll strike it from inside the box, but she'll hit so hard that it will come back out. So it'll go for 2 and 2, but not the 3.
Maybe it hits it so hard she goes back in time and then she goes back outside the box. Oh, there we go. That counts, right?
Wibbly wobbly timey wimey Thundy Bees. There you go.
Exactly. As the good doctor once said. Yes, absolutely. Oh, I love that. Thank you for doing that, Danny. Tony, 91 and all of them against England.
90 of them.
Floaty lobs, by the way, just a lob, right? That's just nice little lob.
We don't have floaty L's. He's
No
killed the
floaty
floaty
L's.
He's
No
killed the
rules.
floaty L. He's finally defined the Thundy Bee.
You've got to define it, or else it
I
gets
don't think Georgia Stanway is going to get a Thunder Bastard.
Ooh,
I don't think she is.
She might do.
It'll be Kira Walsh watching.
Yes. Kira Walsh's second goal for England will be
Oh, Kira's getting a Thundy Bee.
Certified Thundy Bee. Well, because we have the 3 golden rules, we can officially certify Thundy Bees.
Yeah.
So we can get a stamp.
It's in stone.
Yeah, Danny approved.
Thank you.
Now, the last silly little thing that we have to do. A lot of us are collecting the sticker album for the Euros. And we said, wouldn't it be fun to open up a sticker pack live on air and see who gets the best five-a-side team out of their pack, essentially. So I went to a lovely shop today and got a bit carried away. So I've now got a sticker album and the stickers and a multi-pack to go with it. So who has got stickers and who am I opening stickers for?
I've got one.
I've got one.
Who's got
I've
one?
got a few, to be
Oh,
fair.
I'll get two
You've got
first.
to open one for me then.
I'll open one
Can
for
I
you.
just point out, Emily saying I'd make an excellent Doctor Who. Wow, funny you should mention that. I'm not supposed to tell anybody, but I need to nudge my accent slightly because lots of planets have a north.
Very good. You sound like you're from the north. Lots of planets have a north. Right. Okay. For this
There's one thing you need to do if you value your continued existence, if you want to keep living, if you never, ever make me talk about Mark Skinner.
Okay, cool. 1, 2, or 3.
I will go with the number of Weeping Angels episodes so far from Doctor Who and pick 2.
Ooh.
I'm going to get caught out, and there's more than that. I'm just really flattered by that compliment. So I'm just getting as many Doctor Who references as possible because I
In
know
fact,
pretty much
don't
everybody
blink
who's
and
come
the
to
cards will
Matt
be right
Smith.
here. Right, okay, so
Sorry.
these are Paul's. Gonna go first.
My five-a-side team.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Oh, stuck.
I bet I don't get a goalie.
Please
You
get
have got-
Leslie Russo, please.
Sandra Jessen. Excellent.
Nice.
Right, that's the sub goal. That's the sub striker. Excellent.
Ooh, Giulia Dragoni, Italy.
Nice.
Very good up front.
Very
You then
attacking team.
got
005.
Patricia Morais, Portugal.
Solid so far.
I don't know. Spain logo.
Spain. You've got Spain.
Spain.
I've basically got the. That's the entire. I can pick a player from Spain. There you go. If it-
Oh, you have a place. You've got Zion.
So,
Oh, I have facts about the
Ah.
stadium because I wonder whether we was going to talk about the stadium, and I'm really glad I got the Sion one because the Sion one is called the Stade de Tourbillon, and Tourbillon is French for whirlwind, so it's literally Whirlwind Stadium.
Oh, that's fun. And I can tell you, your final card
Oh,
is a
God,
legend card.
Oh, hello.
nice.
Jill Scott.
Oh, yes.
Yes!
Hey,
Fuck off.
Yes.
fuck off.
Oh, that is great. That's a great start. That's a brilliant
That's
Yeah.
good.
So just
Ma-
confirming, you had keeper Morais, you had midfielder Giulia Dragoni, you had attacker Sandra Jensen, and legend Jill Scott.
And
That's
also
great.
the Spain logo, which means I can pick one Spanish player from any team, and so I pick Patrick Guijaro.
Ooh, good shout. Good
How
shout.
many do you get in a pack? Is it 6?
Yes.
So it's a 6-a-side essentially. We're just gonna.
5. Well,
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 technically,
You can have a
Sunday
sub if
on the
you have
bench,
players.
so-
You get things like stadiums as well, by the looks of it.
yeah. So Paul had 4 players and got to pick a Spain side.
Nice.
And I also
Wait,
got
what?
to have facts about stadiums. I hope someone gets the stadium in Bern.
The Vankdorf.
Please, someone get the Vankdorf.
Ooh, Chris also got Dragoni, Lichtfuss, Karshui, Sumanen, and Vanderdonk. That's a good one.
That's a good.
That's a cracking one. Chloe, do you want to go next?
I'll go next. Who have I got? I've got Manuela Gigalina. I've got
Giuliano, yeah.
Juliana?
Oh, good shout, yeah. Midfielder, very good.
I hope you
I've
get.
got-
I hope you get 4 Swedish players.
Oh, I've got Victoria.
The tension.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what?
Oh, very good.
I've got, just speaking about her, Anna Lundqvist.
Nice.
Hey. Yeah.
I've got
very defensive one so far.
I've got Olga Carmona.
Who was one of the captains of the Spanish side, can I just say, for this tournament?
Indeed.
She's been made one of the captains.
Got,
Many people have.
Not very good to take if you're going travelling though, because she's a Carmona.
I've got all players. It's quite fun, this. I've got Smilla Volta from Switzerland.
Oh, Simina Velotto, that's a good young player.
Ooh, that's a good shout.
And ending with
Oh,
How does she count as a legend? Is that a legend
No,
card?
that's not the legend cards, no.
no, I think that's just a.
Love Island Stars
Another one.
sister, Alessia Russo.
Indeed.
I got all
yeah.
players. That's quite weird for a pack, isn't it?
Tony got to the joke before I did. Oh God, that's Giorgio Russo's sister.
I love it. What we'd give to be another fly on the wall in that England camp right now.
Oh my god, I better no, because last night, because I've just had a little look on socials about what happened tonight, and it's intense.
He's definitely into crypto though, Giorgio Russo, isn't he? He definitely likes
no,
craft
I've got
lager and
misconceptions.
crypto, and his dream is to buy a BMW 3 Series.
Hey, let a man dream. Danny, do you want to open yours? See what you got?
Yeah, let's go. The satisfying sound of the opener.
Oh, very nice.
With the SMR.
That is it.
SMR.
That's a childhood flashback.
Right,
Spenny found Chris just there with the info. That is a Women's Euro hotshot sticker. So it is a special.
Oh, okay. Nice. All right, what we got? Oh, straight out the back.
Oh wow!
The start that is.
That's
Very
a start.
Good
That is.
bag. Right, what we got? Milena Kokosz of Poland.
Comedy name.
We have Pernilla Harder as well. This is looking good.
So you have Harder and Kokosz
I really had to get the Vankdorf Stadium with this.
in the Frankdorf Stadium.
Oh, we've got Dottir. Gudrun Anar Dottir. That one.
Oh, honest up to you, yes.
Yeah. Oh, got Mbok. That's special. And the entirety of Italy.
Oh, great. There you go.
Yeah.
So you can pick a
Who are you going to
pick?
pick?
Oh, we can pick from Italy. I don't know. I don't need. I've got a five-a-side team already, haven't I?
Yeah, but you can put one of them on the bench.
Yeah.
I'll have a think.
Can you?
We'll come back.
That one? That one? No.
There's a hint.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah. Why not? I'm happy with that. That's a
this one.
lovely.
Okay. I don't know where my microphone is.
Can I just say, if this is an amazing card pack, I'll be so annoyed now.
Watch this be the worst one in the world. Right. No offense to anyone, of course. Ooh, okay. I've got Lisa Lichtfuss in goal.
Decent start. Belgium's backup.
I've got Ariana Caruso.
Oh, sparkly.
Shiny
she's shiny.
Caruso.
Very
That's going to be like star player or something, I'm assuming, that one.
Ooh, legend Birgit Prinz.
Oh, that's a...
Oh, that's
There's goals in your team.
Caroline Graham Hansen.
Nice.
Yes. Very nice indeed.
This is going to be an Ange Postecoglou 6-a-side team, isn't it?
Olga Artinen
Nice.
in my midfield.
At least a pretense of holding midfield.
Ooh, Sandy Toletti.
Oh,
Oh, that's a decent midfield pair, that.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
2 holding midfielders, 3 strikers.
Not bad, not bad. Just play rush goalie, be fine. Oh no, I got Lichtfuss, didn't I? So we're good. I'm good.
She might face a few shots because of no defence in front of her, but
a few gaps in that team.
Slender people.
Greatest strikers of the women's game, yes. However, JJ's just popped on and said, who's going to win? And that is a question we haven't asked yet. We've only said who's going to get out of the groups. So we know it's early. We know no football has been played, so it's completely wide open. Do we have any feelings and this will be the last question. That'll let everyone go to bed. About who will win this tournament this year. Has anyone got any thoughts? And again, people in the chat, if you think you know who are going to win.
Spain are going to win.
Spain.
It's a shocking statement, I know.
Really
Well,
going
that's
out.
such
Putting it out there, I'm going bold, but
going bold with Spain. Okay.
going Steve bold.
Tony's saying Germany in the chat. Emma's saying Spain as well. Chloe, for you, any dark horses maybe? Has anyone thought of it?
Iceland.
Oh, imagine if Iceland win.
Come on, Iceland. Dark horses.
I mean, obviously, I'd like England to retain it, but I don't know. See, Spain could.
They definitely could.
Oh, I don't know.
That's a big careful going with the big out there predictions to start.
I don't know.
That's why they play the games, Chloe. None of us do.
Need to consult the world.
That's why it's called a prediction.
I love that. Sam's just put, I'm going Maverick. Croatia. Late entry, no one knows about.
France, maybe?
JJ, people can't win, mate. Just one. Pick one. Pick one, JJ.
Belgium might be a dark horse as well.
Belgium?
They could
Belgium
be.
might be a dark horse.
There might
Black
be
Beauty.
a dark horse out of the group. Black Beauty. I might be. I don't know.
Portugal might get a semi. David Gregson says.
Oh, oi. Lucky Portugal.
They definitely would have done if they were in Group D.
Paul, who do you think is going to win?
Much as people think I have been ripping them to shreds, I hope England do. I think Spain are going out early.
Ooh.
And based on the path to the final, and C and D being the trickier one, with the way the groups have come out, I think I agree with Tony. I think Germany.
Germany, yeah.
I think Germany have the motivation.
Yeah.
More than any other team after the heartbreak of the last Euros, and the fact that most of that team, I think the only big player from that team who is missing is Alex Pop, who didn't play in the final anyway.
They ripped us a new one, didn't they, as well, a few months ago?
Yeah. Yeah. Germany's a really strong shout. Really strong shout.
Possibly a Germany-Spain final.
Ooh.
Which I think can, because again, it's A, B one side of the draw and C and D the other, isn't it? So Germany and Spain can't meet till the final, and I don't think England can meet Spain till the final.
I think we can if we finish a set. I think might swap over at one point. So I think we can get Spain in the semis.
Or is it one of those certain if they finish second in the group, the path kind of?
It's something like that. Yeah, I think if we win the group, we end up being on Spain's path for the semi. I think is how it's works.
So
I'll have to
England
come
finish
watch
second
out again.
Yeah, it's
Wales, obviously.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Wales are definitely going to be in the final. Tell me, talking about. Yes, we've got our groups. I'll just see if there is confirmation about anything else. No, can't find anything quickly, and I won't keep it waiting. I will just say though, I did open that final packet just because I couldn't help it. First one out, Leah Williamson.
Nice.
Love.
Frederica Thorgerson, Denmark. Daphne van Domselaar.
Nice.
Oh, see, that's the best goalie there.
Jules Brand.
Oh, that's who's just joined Leon, I believe. Jules Brand.
Yes, I believe she has. Marianne Terschun, Switzerland, who I believe we mentioned earlier, and Kayla Adamek from Poland. So there we go.
I love how we've given Aled hope now, and he's like, "Don't do this to me."
See, Matthew, lovely segue there. Yes, if you follow us across social media, you will have noticed that our wonderful Sam, has put together a Absolute Football Show wall chart for the Euros, and it's free. So if you see the picture, you can save that, you can download it, and you can print it. It's right there for you. So yes, so if you haven't got a wall chart yet, that is on across our socials, ready for you to download, ready for the Euros. And if you want to know where to follow us, dun dun dun, we are here. We are here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We've got shows across the channel. And of course, follow us. What I would say tonight, it's been lovely to see all of the members as well. So if you have joined our member program on YouTube, thank you very much. Hope you are enjoying it with the exclusive content that is coming up. You also get access to exclusive emojis and just more insight into the pod. So yeah, if you are interested, please do check that out on our YouTube channel. However, make sure you do follow us, subscribe, follow, like, share. You know what to do. But on Twitter, we are at Absolute Ball Pod, YouTube at Absolute Football Podcast, Twitch, Absolute Football Podcast. On TikTok, we've got loads of content going on there at Absolute Football Pod. Instagram, Absolute Football Podcast with an underscore, and we're all active on there. Blue Sky at Absolute Football, one we need to be more active on, but we all keep forgetting. And of course, Facebook on the Absolute Football Podcast. So on a Monday, if you're into your non-league, then go check out Shah and the team there. We've got the Premier League show on a Tuesday. We've got our women's football show on a Wednesday and the lower league show on Thursday as well. So you are never without your football fix during the week. So please do give us a like if you haven't already. Thank you very much, everyone, for getting involved. We really, really do appreciate it. And of course, if you want to find more of us during the week when we're off air, Chloe, where can people find more of you, please?
So you can find me at 529 on all social media, or if you want to see what I get up to on my journalism days, I'm at Chloe Talk Sports or Balls.
It needs to be Chloe Talk Balls.
I'll change it immediately after this.
And so you should. And thank you, Danny. Where can people find more of you, please?
I'm at Danny Brothers on the Twits, at Danny the Brothers on the Instagrams. That's my podcast, or our podcast, at Cobblers to Me, talking all things Northampton Town men and women.
Incredible. Thank you. And Paul from Group D and all of the D jokes. Where can people find more of you, please?
You can find more of me at Paul W Radio, and you add the little B Sky thing at the end of it as well. And I will be doing much yelling during the Euros and probably the live tweeting of the games, when I'm not, of course, talking about them on here.
And of course we will be back. Actually, we will let you know when we will do more live watch alongs, because of course the Euros start this time next week on the Wednesday. And if you do want to find more of me, I'm at T Freya T Writes, and again I will also be shouting loudly into the void of social media throughout the Euros for many football related things. So thank you so much to everyone who's watched, listened, watching back, because we know we've gone on quite late, but we do really appreciate it. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again next week. Goodbye.